This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits.
A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban Hunkeros, Baghanaga Hoogs, humongous Hungalamga no Logongas.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
I don't really care, Margaret.
Hello. I'm off. Basically, run.
What's going down, babes? Show me the lovin'.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels.
Why are you running? Let's take some dope.
I am like,
I have had hallucinations on weed before.
if I get that high,
Them babies, Alyssa. Disabilities. I wanted to finish Elden Ring, goddammit.
He's a piece of shit.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
the reason why DEI was put in place in the first place was incredibly disingenuous. Racism and sexism, people being discriminated against. This was put in place to try and
Disillusion young dudes.
white men or straight people. Someone's getting a job over them that doesn't deserve it. People are missing out on jobs that deserve it more than a person who's getting it because they're a woman or because they're black. These people are making a lot of money, print money, cash, money,
well,
capitalism. Raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news. Morality, and now we're facing media's mortality. They lost the plot, we'll take a stand. These corporations must perish, will reclaim our land. Enough is enough, we've drawn the line. We'll take back our story. blaze, a spark divine. The will of the fans, a storm on the rise. We won't be silenced by their hollow lies. We claim the legacy, break the chains. These companies must die for our world to remain. They can't take a passion. We're holding the gates for every fan stands protecting the will to create. We are the true keepers, the defenders of lore, and we won't stop until we settle the score.
I don't even know what the hell that noise was. So yeah,
It was coming from like right in the throat. You know, just...
Right in the throat. Came right in your throat, did it?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
I was debating whether I was like, it's like, oh god, this seems like a setup.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It happens a lot. I'm sorry. I was on SNH this morning. It's still in my mind, you know. Got to be careful what you say. Anything can be taken out of context and used against you. It's the law of the jungle, and it's the way it is on the internet. Got to love it. But hello, everybody. Welcome back to Will of the Fans. My name's Will. You know what's up. And of course, it is WTF Live Sunday edition. That's right, you smegheads. It's time to review some more Red Dwarf. We're gonna have some fun today. I'm not doing any news today because I want to give these a good damn innings because we got two of the best today, back to back, no question. Marooned and Polymorph. For God's sake, these are both S tier as far as I'm concerned. And I'm sure that'll be reflected when we come around to ranking them. So no trash to clean up today. We are screwing Doctor Who out of exposure because it doesn't deserve it. So we're just going to have a good old time and talk some good old times. All right. Let's see who is having some fun. Who's in the chat? We got quite a few people already. I can see DramaticaLaur. GRIFT is here. Noel's here. Amazingly Brilliant is here as well. JJ Jr. is here. Toasty's here. St. Hugo's here. Lovely. Where's MagesGuild? Is he alive? Anyway, all right, guys. It's great. Oh, Dividing Dragon as well. Hello. Shout out to you guys. It's nice to see all you. Slay Every Game is here. Rating over on Rumble. We're on Rumble and Kick and YouTube. So no excuses, lots of ways to enjoy the show and contribute in your own particular style. In the meantime, let's begin by getting in touch with the panel and seeing if they survived the last couple of days without their old pal Will. What's up, John?
Not terribly too much. I had a little bit of downtime yesterday after streaming, so Toasty and I decided to fill it by doing some stuff in the studio, and hopefully everybody will kind of see the fruits of our labor later on today and this week when we do our show on her channel. Other than that, still just playing Death Stranding. Have over 450,000 travelers on the road that I made now, which is like quite a big jump, like exponentially. All of a sudden it's become like, one of the most popular road constructions in the game, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And otherwise, I'm almost to the end of the section of the game, and now I have to go do like this incredibly annoying ass because I am playing on very hard boss battle, but it's one of the best sections of the game, so I'm simultaneously like looking forward to it and also dreading how long it's going to take. But other than that, not too much going on, so LFG and all that wonderful stuff, and yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Sounds good. Rhoda, what's up, buddy?
Since the last time I was on with you guys, I've literally just been working and sleeping. But next week is going to be better. Next week's going to be better because I'm going to have far more time and I'm going to be releasing videos and streaming. But it hasn't happened lately because we've had people off sick and we've had people on holiday. And I thought that was going to change last week, but it didn't. But it is going to change next week. So expect more from me.
Well, we've had plenty. You haven't missed anything this week, have you?
No, I haven't missed anything on here, and I did the show with Ryan that I was supposed to do, but I didn't do any of the extra ones because I was asleep.
Right. Yeah, I kind of had a similar experience actually. I slept all day on yesterday, Saturday. I slept literally all day.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did it. I slept all night Friday night and then all day Saturday. Like I was just that behind on sleep and I couldn't get up. I ended up back in bed just like, oh, I'm just gonna have a nap, and it's like 6 hours later. I was like, what the fuck? So I just thought, I think I'll just go with it and recharge. And now I'm feeling pretty good, a little bit energized. A little bit tired too though, because I just had a quite annoying experience. So I'll have to take care of that in my own time. But we are here and we have got a great show. We are gonna, like I said, give it the breathing room to be able to talk about these 2 episodes of Red Dwarf, which are phenomenal.
The greatest ever.
They are among the greatest ever, certainly. Like there's not many people who would argue with that. It's top notch, all-time classic tier, I'd say. At this point, and 2 of them back to back, so we're gonna have plenty of stuff to talk about. And just in case we end up on a massive one like we did with Backwards, instead of going for nearly 5 hours like we did on Sunday, which by the way was the last known appearance of MagesGuild, who says that we actually caused his body clock to be so out of whack by going for 3 extra hours that he has yet to recover it after a week. So wow, that's quite the devastation.
I'm quite happy to sit here and talk about Red Dwarf for 5 hours.
Yeah, so am I, although I probably shouldn't. Because I have responsibilities and things. But that's what we're going to be doing. So hopefully you guys are here for the duration. Hope we're going to have a good old time talking about stuff like that. And if you would like to, please make sure that if you are enjoying the stream, then like the damn stream. Come on.
Like the stream.
Share the stream.
Share the stream, like the stream, and share the stream, and get more people in here to have fun with us as we try to entertain you as well. It's going to be good. We've got so much to talk about these 2 episodes. And of course, if you would like to make sure that I am able to continue to do this for the foreseeable future, then fill the damn bar. Let's have a go. Let's see it go up, all up, 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 up. You guys have been trying to decipher it. It's not very difficult. I basically did the same thing that I did with the Backwards one last week, except because it's polymorph, I jumbled it all up because, it can be anything. However, the incredibly difficult puzzle that I laid before you has already been sort of solved. So let's see how you guys are doing with the super chats already. DramaticaLaur is here for Australian $2.99 and says 3 words: penis shaped pasta.
I mean, a lot of pasta is.
Well, I mean,
this is a reference to what we've been talking about in the Discord. Yeah. I have a little look. It's pretty funny.
I haven't had time to look at Discord. But,
I suggested that it needs to be served with 2 meatballs and have spotted dick as dessert.
I see. Of course it does. Yes, of course.
I mean, there's a variety.
Do people outside the UK know what spotted dick is, by the way?
I can't say that I rightly know. I know it's a
Probably
thing,
not.
but I couldn't tell you what it is. I'm not. I just assumed some British, whatever.
Some British, whatever, Yeah.
Now, I mean, I didn't assume that it actually was like like
like what?
There is stuff here in America. Rocky Mountain oysters. Our testicles. Sheep testicles, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you do have fucking weird stuff too.
Yeah. Food stuff everywhere. Yeah.
And yet they sit and judge us all the time for things like haggis.
Oh well, I've got some haggis in the fridge. I fucking love haggis.
Oh my god! All right, penis shaped pasta. It's right here, guys. Here it is. No, it's all right. Haggis is all right.
Yeah. Sell the
Although
corn shop.
Not my favorite. But you know, I'm not usually sort of into the idea of things that are described as heart, lungs, and liver boiled inside a stomach. So, you know, just it's me. Just the way it is.
I'm very pro farming and all that. So like I love like the whole nose to tail idea of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's also people do eat bull testicles in certain parts of the country as well.
You can't
and
hear me.
taurine. Technically,
I can
when
hear
you
you
drink
now. I
energy
couldn't hear you
drinks,
when
that
you started
is,
saying what I assume was you can't hear me, but I heard the second
I
half.
can
of
hear
it.
you. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear
Fucking
you then.
StreamYard. Unbelievable. Yes, there's your penis-shaped pasta. Thank you very much. Also, interestingly, as it goes on in the chat, initials are PSP.
And Sony
I'm
can suck it.
literally doing my Final Fantasy VII streams from a PSP.
You wish you hadn't said that, buddy.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
Had to. No choice. It's the rules, don't you know? Thank you very much, DramaticaLaur. It says also, hi, Smarty Steve.
Yeah.
Which Steve is that?
This is
Teacher Steve.
Oh, is he here? That's good.
my God of War edition PSP.
Oh, yeah, there he is, right up at the top there. Hello to TJEP Steve as well. Lovely. All right. Sardoc Spamfish for £5 of legitimate currency. Appreciate you for that, buddy.
Every single person of, you know, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
Yes, says, I've deciphered the bar label. It says blood for the chud dog.
Yes.
So close. So close. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be God. Obviously, it's a Warhammer reference. But yeah, okay. Today it can be for the dog. Whatever you think. I mean, everything I do is for the kids anyway. So I don't have a dog. But if I did have a dog, I'd probably call it Corn, after the god of chaos. You know, the blood god. So so I guess you can have that if you want. But there you go. Thank you very much.
I really got something for that, but I'm not going to say it on stream. I'll
No.
put it in Discord.
I was waiting for someone to say corn dog, but no. Anyway, there we go. Anyway, there we go. So thank you very much for that, man. Appreciate you. £5 there. That's very nice. And we will crack on with the beginning of the content. Right after St. Hugo representing Team Clippy, my Twitter handle has a Clippy. Says currently at Series 4, love every second of it. Yes. That's exactly the mission here, is to get more people to watch Red Dwarf, and I feel like we are succeeding quite spectacularly. A couple of people have been yelling at me for making them watch Red Dwarf again. B-Man was having a go at me the other day for influencing him to watch Red Dwarf again. And, you know, the thing I get is, damn you, Will, now I'm watching Red Dwarf again. Damn, I forgot how good this was. And it's like, you owe me.
A little bit of levity in life isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. What am I doing if not providing a public service? And there we go. So that's how it goes. Appreciate you guys. And, of course, he's been a member now for 7 months. Guys, join the GRIFT Force. Yes, join the GRIFT Force. Get your emojis. Step right up and get your custom emojis right here, as well as all the back catalogue of my gaming streams, etc. This Tuesday, all being well, I will begin streaming Metal Gear Solid Delta. So make sure that you don't miss them when they are live, or you will have to be a member to see them again. So there we go, because otherwise I'm just going to have a million fucking hours and hours and hours of live streams popping up on my public feed, and I don't need that when I got videos I want people to watch. So frankly, that's how it goes. Alrighty then, we are here to our modest audience as always to talk about Red Dwarf. But before we do that, it's Tuesday on Tuesday, and we will be ranking something. So chat, let us know your suggestions, super chat them, if you can, or whatever. Just try to let us know what you suggest that we should be ranking, and we will try to make that happen on Tuesday. Once we get down to a few good ones, we'll have a poll or something to work out what the winner will be, and democracy can reign again.
Indeed.
But
Speaking of
real
Metal
democracy.
Gear, this is
No, nice.
portable ops. Yeah.
This is a UMD portable ops. Nice.
Mm.
You know, what's that? Red PSP?
Oh, it's God of War edition.
Ah, cool.
That's
I thought
nice.
maybe for a minute that you had that. I thought for a minute that you had that red fake Soldier Boy PSP thing.
No. When I was working at Best Buy, they were a limited edition, and I worked in a warehouse, so I set one off to the side.
That's good. That's good. You should definitely just never touch anything that was ever held or sold by Soldier Boy, by the way. That was a few years ago now, but most people won't remember. But there was a really questionable little device that was for sale that was called the PVP. And it was appalling. It had like about 1,000 different rip-off bootleg 16-bit games on it.
Rip-off system off of Temu for half the cost.
Yeah, right. It was appalling. Didn't work, and the only way to get it to work was to put a cartridge in it that had no games on it. It had no games whatsoever, and when you put the cartridge in, all it did was bypass the usual menu of inbuilt games and replace it with a different menu of inbuilt games. Yeah. So technically the games were all on the machine, which would make it illegal. So there you go, Soldier Boy. John Grant here for $5. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. And says nothing, of course. So, I mean, just, you know, total GIGACHUD there. Just slaps it on the table and says absolutely nothing. Mad respect, buddy. Mad respect. Thank you very much. DramaticaLaur suggests dessert. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of desserts to rank. Usually I want to keep it, you know, in the vein of the channel, i.e. pop culture, geekery, media, that kind of thing. But I guess we can go with anything. Anyway, thank you very much, John Grant. Appreciate you for that one, buddy. All right. Nothing for it then. We'll just have to crack on and get into Red Dwarf. Let me get this episode up on the screen and make sure that it is overlaid by the overlay. And we will begin. But before we start, any thoughts on Marooned?
It's very
Wonderfully
great
story, Rich.
One at a time?
Go ahead, Rita.
I was saying it's wonderfully story rich.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's another one of these episodes where there's not a lot going on set piece wise. A little, certainly. They have to get to where they're going. But then it's just two guys in a room. And you haven't had that.
A lot of character exploration in between these two episodes. So.
It's a return to the sort of model of series 1 where it was all Lister and Rimmer. And the interesting thing, of course, if you pay attention to the back story, is, of course, the two actors could not stand each other at this point, and they deliberately kept them apart for that reason in scenes. But they decided to go for this anyway, and it works brilliantly. Anyway, John, what do you think?
It's probably the closest in tone to the season 1 stuff. But with all the episodes that have taken place since then, and all the richness of context that's now built into these characters, it's even more successful, I would say, in terms of just the interplay and the dynamics that they have, in their relationship and who they are as individuals. So, yeah, it's really great. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right there when you point out, like, we did all the backstory, we did all the character analysis, we did all the introspection, psychoanalysis of each character in series 1. We've got all that down. So now they're free to build upon it and develop the relationship, which definitely does happen in this episode. As you know, the two of them, they don't quite hate each other, the characters anyway, as much as they did. They've been sort of begrudgingly together for a while now. And so they kind of have to find ways to bond with each other. In the case of Lister, obviously, they get marooned on an ice moon or something, and he has, just days to live. And so, more so now than ever, Holly's plan of having Rimmer keep him from going insane must come into effect. And because even though there are several times during this episode, I think several anyway, at least one that I can think of, where we completely break the laws of hologrammatic interaction with physical objects, Rimmer is immortal effectively and will survive as long as he has power, from presumably Starbug and not in fact Red Dwarf, because, well, we know later that they don't have Red Dwarf for like 2 seasons. And Rimmer doesn't go offline, so there's got to be a backup somewhere on Starbug somehow that could last potentially years. So, but yeah, there's things like that. But also just the fact that he doesn't need to eat, he can't get cold, he can't get too hot or anything like that. So Lister has to deal with all the survival elements while Rimmer does not. So it's an interesting one, to say the least. But Rimmer then is forced to keep Lister talking to avoid him going insane, which is really great.
I was going to say, which is the irony is that even though Rimmer, he doesn't have to worry about any of these things, he is so meticulous about taking everything that means anything to him, and Lister really doesn't take all that much, to be quite honest.
His guitar, really.
His guitar, because that's the only thing that really matters to him. Not even a good amount of food to stock the trip. So.
Yeah, he doesn't bring any food, does he? Because they think they're just going to be gone for 12 hours and nothing will happen.
Right.
Yeah. So that's basically the synopsis of the episode. Is for stupid reasons that will become clear later, they have to evacuate Red Dwarf on the Starbug. Rimmer and Lister take Starbug while Crichton and the cat take Blue Midget. They evacuate Red Dwarf, and then they end up marooned, basically Rimmer and Lister, and it becomes a survival struggle and a lot of just sitting and talking to try and stop Lister from cracking up over his impending death if the others don't find him soon. So you end up with what is effectively a very low budget episode. And again, sometimes they are the best ones. So there we go.
There's there's like one real main sight gag, but it's also the crux of the episode, and it provides for quite a lot of entertainment. And it's a very small little thing. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to get the script up because that was just hugely helpful last time. And we'll be able to start this thing off right as soon as I've read this. DramaticaLaur for Australian $2.99. Thank you. Says Star Wars creatures / aliens ranking my number 1 Ewoks. That would probably be my D tier. I fucking hate the Ewoks. They suck.
Ewoks are like retarded Wookiees.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole Ewoks thing is based on age. Apparently, if you were born after, say 1985, you probably like the Ewoks. If you were born on or before 1985, you probably don't like the Ewoks.
Right.
Because you were probably old enough by the time you saw Star Wars that you thought a bunch of combat-ready teddy bears was lame.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they have a little bit of an edge that they eat people, but
supposedly,
even still, I mean,
they also worship shiny robots.
Right. Well, it is pretty clear when at the end.
The other thing is, if you're a girl, you probably like Ewoks.
Yeah, because I mean, teddy bears, right? But at the end of the movie, when they're playing the drums on the Star Troopers helmets, I assume that they ate those Star Troopers.
They ate them,
yeah.
They ate them, for sure. If you look at them that way, if it was presented slightly differently, the Ewoks would be a real menace. I mean, the fact that they are able to defeat the Empire at all is kind of an indictment of the Empire rather than a testament to the Ewoks. It's like you guys are getting beaten by primitive warfare.
Right.
It was kind of one of the first times that we realized how vulnerable Imperial armor and weaponry is. Like it could be beaten by logs and stones and things, you know.
Right.
It's like, isn't that the whole point of this?
I used to like Wookiees.
Yeah, Wookiees are badass.
Yeah, and until I realized that they were all just studying to be Jonathan Ross.
How so?
Wookiees.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Fuck. I didn't see that coming. My God. My God, that was awful. Fuck.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, the thing about Return of the Jedi is it used to kind of be, because Empire Strikes Back, and of course, the original Star Wars were so great. People kind of gave it a pass, but it was the first cracks in the foundation that you could see that this thing was getting turned into a cash grab machine. And it's just like with the prequels, because I'm in my 40s, you know, I'm old John, right? The prequels suck, but there's like a whole bunch of people that are like in their like 20s and 30s that are trying to convince me all the time. I'm like, no, John, prequels are actually really good. It's like, in comparison to this bullshit from Disney, sure, but you had to have that to like act. But as actual Star Wars stuff, prequels are kind of just, you know, they're corpo trash, and I can't really. But if you watched it when you were so young, and you're just, you know, like you have like those warm feels about your youth and seeing it for the first time, I understand, and I can appreciate that you like it, but
right.
Well, I think they need to be
there's more shit in the pile of Star Wars than there is gold.
Yeah,
like
what was that, Rhoda?
Phantom Menace was shit. I actually thought Attack of the Clones was quite good, and
it's weird, that, isn't it? It's more popular now to say that Clones is the worst. Yeah. These days, people say Clones is worse than Phantom Menace, but I actually disagree.
If they would have started with Attack of the Clones, reworked it with elements of Revenge of the Sith, and had an entirely different third movie that was just young Darth Vader, that would have been a more appropriate kind of way to go about doing it.
Or if they had it start with him turning to the dark side,
right?
Like he starts in the first half hour, and then you get a good solid hour of Vader side, and then the final battle. Maybe, I don't know. I like Revenge of the Sith a lot.
I like Revenge of the Sith, and I like Attack of the Clones. I don't like Phantom Menace.
It's funny, like they're kind of the inverse, because of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith, as much as I sit here and say that, you know, Return of the Jedi was the down note of the first trilogy, Revenge of the Sith is actually the one that is the most successful of those three. But then all the Disney shit is just
it's
abysmal.
It's a very contentious thing. We ranked Star Wars already, but I mean, we put what? Did we put Sith in the top tier? No, we put Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back in the top tier. Then like Return of the Jedi and Sith below that, and then below that was like 2 and 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'm sure there's everybody in the chats now probably like, I can't believe you said that about the prequels. The prequels are good. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. You know what? Actually, I'm not sorry.
He's too old to like the prequels.
I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 or 19 when I think it was 99 when Phantom Menace came out. So yeah, I was 18 when it came out. So I watched it multiple times because they had it on a 24-hour loop at my theater here in this little small ass town. So I used to get stoned out of my fucking brains, just go in and just like watch it for like hours, leave, go get high again, and walk back in, and never. You know, it was next to nothing. Like I've watched it tens of hundreds of times over the course of that summer, but it didn't mean that it was like great. It's just there's nothing going on in this little dingy ass small town. But yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't hate any of them.
I mean, I don't
even hate Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I mean,
I was 14 when I saw Phantom Menace. I was 12 when I saw the OT, because I never had a way to see it before it was remastered. So I first saw the special editions, I didn't particularly like the Ewoks. I thought they were meh. I thought this is what's going to topple the Empire, really? Okay. It's like, well, you know, you probably wouldn't have got very far if it weren't for Luke and Darth Vader, but you know. Anyway,
with that said, though, if you enjoy the prequels, don't assume like I'm not your tastemaker. I have my own.
Yeah,
you're free to like them.
I like the prequels. I like them well enough.
So yeah,
if you view them as the main character is Palpatine, makes them all a lot
well, that's
more
why
palatable.
now all Star Wars is the Palpatine saga, because that's effectively what the whole thing is, and Palpatine
absolutely
wins.
Annoyingly, like until the recent Disney shit, like
oh yeah, they all look like fucking Oscar-worthy masterpieces compared to
but Phantom Menace was like my least favorite of the prequels. Like I didn't like it at all, except like Qui-Gon Jinn was a really
Qui-Gon Jinn's awesome. Yeah.
So it's like I still, if I'm doing a Star Wars run, I still watch it, even though I don't like the movie, just because Qui-Gon Jinn's in it.
I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn is the maverick Jedi who doesn't follow the dogma. He follows the Force. That's his whole shtick. Is he is much more intimately aware of what's going on with the Force than most of the other Jedi who just follow the rules. Yeah. Even Yoda in the earlier parts of the trilogy is much more stuck in his ways with the dogma of the Jedi. So ultimately Liam Neeson wins. Ultimately Qui-Gon wins. He wins out by having dying, technically training Obi-Wan Kenobi after the Jedi are wiped out by their rigid adherence to their own fucking dogma, instead of paying attention and noticing the Sith Lord. Then what happens? Obi-Wan kind of loosens up and starts to let go of the dogma himself. By the time Luke meets Ben Kenobi, he doesn't give a shit about the dogma of the Jedi anymore. He's just like, okay, put this thing on, turn the blast shield down and feel it. It's called the fucking Force. Fuck the Jedi. Just go with the Force. Use the Force.
That was a rough decade in his life to
it's
go
2 decades.
from McGanner to Alan McGanner. Right, but I'm just saying, like in
he ages like 30 years in 19.
Yeah, 10 years, yes.
Yeah, that's 19.
Yeah.
But so by the end, Luke wins by being nothing like a original Jedi, really. If you think about, like, he rides the line quite a lot between light and dark, and only through sort of embracing his potential to turn to the dark side does he become what should be a new Jedi. And then Disney fucks the whole thing up. But
right, and that's what I mean by it was a rough decade, because there's about a decade time between when they did their whole little Leia adventures. Oh, I mean Obi-Wan Kenobi story.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Right, I know, but that was Luke.
But at the end of the day, my point is Qui-Gon is vindicated through the events of the OT and the prequels.
Yeah.
Because by the end, the only Jedi left is a guy who is much more, in terms of his practice of the Force, much more like Qui-Gon than any of the old dogmatic Jedi.
The only thing I really appreciate about Star Wars nowadays is there's a YouTube channel, I think it's called Charlie Hunnam. He does the deep fake where it's
where he sits watching them.
Yeah, where they just sit around watching, and
I've seen that guy.
And they get better as the years go by, because it's kind of
he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's pretty good, but he rides the line on a lot of stuff that I'm like, how can you like that? Like like the Disney stuff. I'm like, no. You should be sitting here throwing your mug at the TV.
Right.
But hey, there you go. That's what it is. Fantastically Amazingly Brilliant is here for £20. Thank you very much. That is some legitimate currency. And Dobon Honkeros, let's go.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Dobon Honkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big ol' Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger Bonkhanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Wow, we are only, 8 away from half the bar, so we can get to the money. All the prequels, says, I love all the prequels personally, especially Revenge of the Sith, and I'm not exactly young, lol, even though the OGs were obviously the best. However, my love for Star
It's
Wars,
supposed to be Star Wars, yeah.
yeah, stops there. The ones Disney did was shit. Also, I love Ewoks. Well, there you go. You see, it takes all different types of folks, different strokes for different folks. I'm never going to argue with an opinion like that. That's a perfectly valid opinion as far as I'm concerned, and absolutely appreciate you. It says, yeah, I mean, if you like the Ewoks, if you don't like the Ewoks, there's this, it's a real minor problem. It's not like just hating Jar Jar or something like that. For the record, I don't particularly like Jar Jar. I do like that he's the one who accidentally dooms the entire galaxy by giving Palpatine, the Supreme Chancellor, his emergency powers in the first place. And then he has to sort of march alongside the body of Padme as a result of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, Jar Jar. Get wrecked. I don't subscribe to the Darth Jar Jar theory, but it is interesting.
I mean, that would have been a hell of a lot better than what we ended up with in that Disney bullshit.
I would rather have that. Fun.
I would have rather had that.
Agreed indeed. Yeah. It would be cool if Jar Jar turned out to have inadvertently been a Sith the whole time, like he was brainwashed or something, like he's a sleeper agent or something, and like Palpatine just activates him and he turns out to be another sacrificial pawn that he has.
Have you ever seen any of the conspiracy videos that are like, well, look at his eyes, he has Sith eyes.
Oh, he's got yellow eyes.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, they go into it.
I mean, if that was the case, then Star Wars' universe would eradicate all cats, you know? It might be why you never see one, but, you know, but there you go.
Imagine a crossover with Star Wars and Final Fantasy 14 then, like some kind of bloody massacre of Makotes.
Yeah. Is that what they're called in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? What were they called in 11? Mithra. That's it. Yeah, Mikote. Yeah. That's my character too. Actually, I liked the way they looked, so I rolled a male Mikote. I almost said Mercante.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
In chat for you. Scratch
its eyes out.
That's right.
But there we go. Thank you very much. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant. You absolute legend. Thank you, dear. And Irod Man is here for $10 and says, let's get to that tier. That is what we like to see. Thank you very much.
Drop it.
Money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat, money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no-code names, SJW screaming, but it's money they blame, burning with envy, they're falling flat, they can't handle the sound of a super chat.
The only thing I've ever been involved with is that clip.
I didn't hear a word you said, John. What'd you say, man?
The only decent thing Mercanti has ever been involved with is that clip.
I'm gonna make you famous. It's also like got to the point now where that video's been circulating for so long, people don't know that I made it.
Right.
Like the other day I was watching like Hypnocast or something, and I put my little sunglass emoji when he played it, and someone said, thanks, Will. And then another person was like, wait, did you make that? I was like, yeah. You must be new here. Yeah, I made that. Yeah. But there we go. It's weird because at the time I was kind of salty about the fact that I worked for 2 weeks to make the intro for Hyperdrive Time and 2 hours to make that one. That's the one everyone says is my greatest work. It's like, fuck. Anyway, never mind the Star Wars distraction. Don't worry about it. DramaticaLaur's apologizing for it. We still got plenty of time. Spears out for Athe in the chat. We will move on to Red Dwarf. It's only a shame we couldn't force Ryan to watch it and do this with us. But, oh well. We got Rhoda instead who actually cares about it. So that's nice. All righty then. We have got plenty to get on with. We can start. I'll share the screen and just make sure the volume's off as well. Ooh, goodbye. There we are. And hold on. Whoa, not that one. Not that one. Definitely not that one. Fucking hell. That would have been meta. I'm gonna shed this StreamYard screen. Okay. So we are here. Yeah, it would have been hell on earth. No one would have watched. It would have just been a constant feedback loop of sound. Right. Okay. Where are our scripts? So, Red Dwarf, Series 3, Episode 2, Marooned. We can skip through the intro. And we can proceed to the beginning. Is this it? Let's see. Yeah. Right. So, we're in Starbug in the cargo bay. Got red alerts flashing, and Holly's voice chimes in. Is that you trying to say something, Rhoda?
Yeah, immediately I have questions.
Okay.
Right. Starbug 1.
Yep.
Should be in the backwards universe at the bottom of a lake. Why is this Starbug 1 and not Starbug 2?
Got promoted.
I know. Starbug 2 is the rescue ship. They only should have one Starbug. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they repainted it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. It got promoted. It's the only one they have left now. So now it's
yeah. Interestingly, the cockpit looks nothing like Starbug either. It looks nothing like the Starbug cockpit from the last episode either. When like they don't like sit down to pilot it or anything. You could argue that's not really the cockpit, so I don't know about that. But true, you're right. Starbug 1 should be at the bottom of the ocean, or the lake rather, 178 miles away from London.
Yeah, they might be hanging out in the thoracic region.
Yeah. By now, but if the backwards universe continued at the rate it was going, then not by now, unless time was moving at a different speed. You never know. Could be surrounded by dinosaurs by this point. Anyway, whatever. Starbug, as we will continue to call it. So we'll just have to assume then that they promoted it. Uh-oh. I can hear Princess. What's she doing? Uh-oh. Am I about to get told I got to end the stream at 45 minutes? I don't think so. But anyway, red alert lights flash. The street siren is wailing. Holly's voice comes in. Of course, this is now Lady Holly. She says, abandoned ship, black hole approaching, abandoned ship. Then the siren stops. She goes, oh, God, the siren's broken. Awooga, abandoned ship.
This is not a drill. This is a drill.
Yeah. Exactly. That's right. Yes, this is a drill. And then she plays a pneumatic drill sound, or there's a drill somewhere. We don't see it. Anyway. Right. So that's Holly basically saying everything's fucked. Rimmer's talking to Holly, says, well, let's get over to it. So Holly and Rimmer are having a conversation. Rimmer says, but a black hole is a huge compacted star. It's millions of miles wide. Why didn't you see it on the radar screen? And Holly, this is what I would argue is the first time Hattie Hayridge's female Holly gets a line that would be written for Norman Lovett to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the way he talks, like when he said your closest actual planet to your basic sun, and stuff like that. So she says, well, the thing about a black hole, its main distinguishing feature is it's black. And the thing about space, your basic space color, is it's black. So how are you supposed to see it?
Yeah, right. I do honestly. I think she did an absolutely fantastic job.
I won't hear a word against her. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's totally different, but she's also exactly the same.
Completely correct.
Yeah, and it's great.
It's what a femaleized version of Holly should be.
Yeah, Holly. Yeah, just with a different face.
Yeah,
different coat of paint.
I think she did excellent.
She did great. Can't fault her. She's as much a part, separate and distinct from Lovett's Holly, as any other Holly. Like as Holly. She's Holly. She's a part of Holly. I just see him as the same character, basically.
Yeah.
With slight differences. But like she's more likely to sort of emote. She's more emotive, but not much more emotive than Norman Lovett. But at the same time, in many ways, more callous than Norman Lovett as well. Like Norman Lovett always used to sort of say, "All right, dudes, what's shaking?" and stuff like that. She doesn't really do that. If they have a go at her for something, she'll be like, "Oh, it's me, it's muggins, innit? Oh, I got to do everything," you know.
What?
Yeah, exactly. She's much more standoffish than Norman Lovett's one was, but she's also more emotive as well. So you know, it works. But a great job. No faulting her at all. So there we go. We now escalate the joke, by the way, because you know you've had your great joke about how black holes are black and so is space, so you can't see them. And Rimmer then says, "But 5 of them." So they've somehow been accosted by 5 black holes, ambushed by 5 black holes. She says, always the way, innit? You hang around in deep space for 3 million years and you don't see one. Then all of a sudden, 5 turn up at once. Which anyone who's ever waited for a bus or a train in the UK can 100% relate to.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Our list was written in the early 90s and it's still true to this day.
Yeah. Was it early 90s by this point? I thought it was only like 1990. Well, I guess that counts. So shut up, Will. Anyway, good jokes though, and of course the 5 black hole joke is going to get a fucking amazing payoff right at the end of the episode as well. So that's great.
Good bit of setup.
Yeah.
It is also interesting though too, because you know we do live in the day and age now of the couch meme. Speaking of 5 black.
Oh right, yeah. Of course. Well, that's not 5 black holes. That's one white hole.
That's
and
one
5
white hole
black.
that's about to get blacked.
Yeah, exactly. 5 ways from Sunday. But there we go. We got a super chat or something in there. Member chat from TJAP Steve, member for 17 months. That has got to be as long as I have had members on I think it was like March last year, so that sort of add up. Yeah. Why the whole got to be black? Racist. That's you're quite right, sir. I apologize. I deeply apologize. I don't in any way mean to be racist.
Your master. You are my possession. Don't raise up on me. I'm all deaf. I'm all deaf.
I don't really care, Margaret.
And to be fair, it was that member chat that got me like kind of contemplating the couch meme.
You shouldn't
Was
have
that D. Snyder?
You shouldn't. What?
Was that D. Snyder?
What? Who's D. Snyder?
It's Will Ferrell.
In the clip there.
No, it's Will Ferrell.
That's Will Ferrell
In a
playing
wig.
Ashley Schaefer in Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
It looked like
Yeah.
D. Snyder.
No, it's Will Ferrell, mate.
Oh,
Anyway.
I completely believe you.
Yeah, well, you should. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does kind of look like D. Snyder, actually.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I didn't know who that was, but I googled him. All right. Anyway, so like I said, we've got 5 black holes, which now just sounds dirty, even though it doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, Crichton and Lister are carrying an ornate trunk, and Lister's carrying his guitar. There we go. And Lister's like, "Come on, we've got less than 20 minutes." Rimmer is basically extremely precious over this fucking case. Lister's like, "What do you want this piece of junk for?" It turns out it's actually his father's Javanese camphor wood chest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, camphor is actually a very rare and it was not rare, but it's not a very common wood, even in the real world. So it's, you know, it's pretty special, and it has a very unique scent as well. So that's something that comes up later. Might not sound like it's going to come up later, but it fucking will.
Right.
It certainly will. There we go. And Lister's got his guitar, of course, which is just a standard edition SG or Les Paul. You know, so, you know, it's nothing unique or vital or valuable about it.
Les Paul knockoff.
Yeah, it's an imitation Les Paul. There's no Gibson logo on it or anything yet. So. But the point is that it should be obvious to anybody that Lister's guitar is not particularly valuable or special in any way.
Yeah.
but for some
But
reason
it's
that's not.
valuable for him because
Yeah, it's incredibly
his
valuable to
guitar.
him.
Even
It's
though
also
got
one of
3
arguably the last guitar in space.
Right.
Mm.
You know, unless you might find some gelfs who have one or something. Lister does seem to keep getting guitars, and he keeps ending up with a different guitar every time we see his guitar. It's a different guitar. Like he had like a steel guitar in the first series. Now it's a Les Paul. And then later on, he's got a different make as well. I think he's got like a Telecaster or something in one episode. I can't remember. But whatever. Just like the sets, Lister's guitar changes constantly as well. As does his dress sense, by the way.
Aside, can we just establish that the Telecaster is the greatest electric guitar of all time?
Probably. I have a soft spot for. I have a soft spot for
I've got an
the
Esquire
Strat.
that's modded from a Telecaster into being
That's
an
nice.
Esquire, and it's been done up by my friends to look like Sid Barrett's Esquire with like the mirror discs.
My dad has a custom Gibson L5 from the 1960s. It's worth somewhere around 15,000 quid, but it's completely like invaluable. Like I'd rather die than sell it. You know what I mean? I couldn't sell that if my life depended on it.
I mean, this guitar me and my friends modded. It's like
I wouldn't even know where to sell it for that matter.
We probably spent like with the cost of the original guitar, we probably only spent about 400 quid on it. And it's probably worth about £1,000 because it's such a good job as a replica of Sid's guitar. But to me, it's worth smacking someone in the grid and going to jail for it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying as well. It's a tricky one. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of what is effectively my dad's guitar without accidentally pulling up a picture of my dad. Hang on, I'll find something quickly and share it because it's a pretty special thing. Since we're talking about guitars, the opportunity will almost never come up again on this show. It looks like one of these. Looks like the middle one.
Ooh, nice.
So there we go. It's a beaut to play as well. Anyway, moving on back to Red Dwarf, of course. But yeah, so Lister's guitar is a 200 quid, no, not even that, 100 quid, 100 quid, probably like not even like a which is the company that does the knockoff Gibsons, like the Esquire for Strider, for Squire for fucking Fender, Epiphone. Yeah, it's probably like an Epiphone basically.
Would you like to see an Epiphone Les Paul? Look, here's one.
Yeah. Anyway, I've seen plenty of them.
I'll stop doing that.
Oops. Well, anyway, Lister obviously sees it as enormously valuable to him, while it has no real value at all. And of course, Rimmer, by contrast, is carrying some. Well, he's not carrying it because he's a hologram. Right. A very expensive thing that isn't his. I just think that's an interesting thing that I never thought of until right now. Lister's got this hunk of junk guitar that is worth more to him than anything, whereas Rimmer is ascribing value to something that it doesn't even belong to him properly, like he's an inherited thing from his father. I mean, that's obviously sentimental value too, except that he hates his dad.
Right.
But it's valuable because of what it's made of and what's in it.
Right.
So outward value versus inward value, again. A binary opposition. Yeah. Again, binary opposition between Rimmer and Lister.
It's also
got some supers here.
You can do the supers first.
Okay, Adam Juman for 16 months says the Enterprise and Enterprise A were the same ship. That's true. That's absolutely true. But is that the same as Starbug 1 and Starbug 2? Well, I guess it can be, can't it?
Starbug 1 was at the bottom of a lake, and Enterprise was modified into Enterprise A.
Which you could argue technically Starbug 2 is now Starbug 1. Yeah. But, I don't know. But that is a good point. It is a good point. It is worth being part of the conversation.
And 16 months, man. Awesome.
Yeah, 16 months. Can't argue that. Thank you. Amazing. We got people who've been members since like day one, and they're still here. Love you guys. T-Jap Steve for $10. Oh, that's right, baby. Drop it. Yeah, says the new Starbug was a kit from Space IKEA. Obviously, they got it in the mail and assembled with a hex key, only 8 screws and 3 plugs left over, with the 93% airtight and radiation-free guarantee. That sounds about right. Yeah, it's a hunk of shit, Starbug. That's the whole point. The whole concept of it is that it's like just like Red Dwarf. It's a junker, you know. Not really of any use or value to most people, but for these guys, no choice. It's their landing vessel and they have to make use of it. So, but Starbug is beloved. I think even the creation of Starbug was sort of almost an accident. Like, they didn't like the blue midget that they used in Series 2, and they wanted something bigger that they could potentially live on at times, and blue midget didn't look big enough.
Right.
So obviously they were writing Maroon, so they needed a bigger ship with like a, you know, living quarters of some kind. So Starbug, Starbug is like the size of an estate, like a housing estate, as opposed to Red Dwarf, which of course is the size of a fucking city. Right. But you know what I mean? Like, people sort of think Starbug is too small to have like a whole house's worth of stuff in it. It's like, no. It's got multiple houses worth of stuff in it. There's plenty of room. It has its own like cargo bay, you know, everything.
Yeah.
So there you go. Anyway, but it was created by the prop department, and they didn't have a name for it. But everyone in the prop department had noticed that it kind of looked like a big insect, so they started calling it Starbug. And when it came to actually naming it, no one could come up with a better name for it that fit with the nomenclature of Red Dwarf, Blue Midget, Star, Bug. Bugs are small too. Fuck it, that'll do. So that's how you got Starbug, and it's probably as iconic as Red Dwarf itself, if not maybe more.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, general consensus is that like Series 6 is the absolute peak of Red Dwarf. I think
5 and 6, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what the most people think.
And they're all on Starbug then, so probably a lot of like casual fans might have thought that Red Dwarf was just the name of the show, and it was about the crew of Starbug. So you're absolutely right there.
That is what I thought the first couple episodes I saw, because I started around Series 7.
Cool.
So there we go.
Yeah, so Series 7's much disparaged, but I actually think it's really good.
I like Series 7. I got no problems with it. I mean, it's got Tika to Ride, which is a great episode.
Yeah.
And it's also got
the Rimmer song.
It's got the Rimmer song in blue. It's also got the it's got Ace Rimmer versus the Nazis.
Yeah.
You know, it's got what's the other thing? Shit, the sequence where Crichton uses the AR machine to go into Jane Austen world with a Panzer, or no, it's not a Panzer actually. I think
is anybody else unclear as to the supper situation?
Yeah, exactly, because supper's ready and they're all playing a video game. So he takes a tank from a World War II game, loads it into a Jane Austen game, and blows it all to Kingdom Come. Just because Crichton's had enough of people abusing him. It's so fucking funny. And just in case there was any question about the iconography of Starbug, this of course is Carbug from the much maligned 3-part special Back to Earth. And you know, that's kind of brilliant. I just think that's fucking phenomenal. That's a real thing, by the way. They borrowed it from an actual fan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, someone actually really did that to their car, and they wrote it into the show. And then of course you've got where they actually are. They're on fucking Coronation Street, of course, which is a British soap opera for those who are not British. But there we go. We'll get to Back to Earth. Anyway, so let's crack on. We are falling behind already. Of course we are.
I mean, that's what the show is.
No, we're not.
That is
We're
what
over
this
halfway
shows.
at the bar.
Yes, we are. That's true. Actually, we are over halfway to the bar. We are actually doing really well today. Good God,
And
$63
we've barely
already.
gotten
Thank you.
into the content yet.
Well, there you go. That's what we like to see. Get that bar filled up early so we can just enjoy the rest of the show. Love to see it. All right, guys. So this is them loading up their stuff. Of course, as you pointed out, Lister's really only brought his guitar, and Rimmer's got this fucking Javanese trunk that's full of ancient toy soldiers. But they're a bit more than toy soldiers. As it turns out that they are, in fact, actually priceless 19th century replicas of Napoleon's Armée du Nord, which is the Army of the North, the French Revolutionary Army that was basically just the French army at that point. Napoleon's guys. And we know already from Better Than Life that Rimmer has a major thing for Napoleon.
Right.
You know, you're my all-time fascist dictator, you know.
Yeah, so he has probably never done anything with these more than just look at them and think of their collectible value.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, we also discover that Rimmer's got $24,000 in cash that he has been saving, and Lister is very cross because it turns out that he borrowed 15 quid off Lister to buy him a birthday present, and then actually only got him a £5 gift voucher. So there's that. Although there's that mix up with the currency in the books. Red Dwarf's currency is £, but then they regularly refer to it as quid, which I suppose could happen because we call pounds quid.
It would do if the people are of like English ancestry or British ancestry. Of course,
Yeah.
we'd say quid. Like if
we merged currencies with
changed-
America, I would still call them quids.
Yeah, if we were like, if we actually voted into the single currency, which we didn't, like, we wouldn't say euro. We'd still say 5 quid. We wouldn't say 5 euros.
I do appreciate the 3 million years in the future. You know,
yeah,
they still have cash, hard currency.
I appreciate they still have curry.
Digital.
Anyway, there we go. Yeah, currency is interesting, isn't it? It never comes up, of course, because there's no use for it in 3 million years, except for when they're betting each other things. But there we go. So Cat and Crichton are here now. Blue Midget is loaded. Rimmer says, "You sure you got everything?" Cat says, "Yeah, just the bare essentials, food and medical supplies." Oh no, that's Crichton. Cat says, "And I'm just taking the bare essentials too. 36 changes of clothing and 10 full-length dress mirrors." He says, "Cat, we're going to be 12 hours." He says, "You think I need more mirrors?" Anyway, so there we go. They're out of here, and they leave. Obviously, Starbug goes one way, Blue Midget goes the other, and they leave Red Dwarf behind. Sorry, I haven't got it on screen. Let me get it on screen for you guys. Fuck, I'm sharing the wrong shit. So there we go. So they're off.
If you want a picture of me if you want, I don't mind.
Yeah. So there we go. They're off. And there we go. T-Jap Steve says 24,000 quid. You can buy like a 6-pack and a bag of chips with the inflation. Oof. Searing zeitgeist humor there. I love it. Anyway, so there we are. They've got it on autopilot. Lister's still pissing around with this statue of Napoleon. Rimmer is not happy at all. He doesn't like the fact that he's playing with them. He says they're priceless. Lister's like, "I'm just having a goosey." He says, "If you get curry all over them, how's that going to look? What's Lieutenant General Baron Jacquinot of the 1st Cavalry Division supposed to be doing with meat vindaloo all over his tunic?" Lister says it'll make him look more authentic. People will think he's got dysentery. Puts them back. This is where the conversations really pick up. They start. Lister says, "You're obsessed with war, aren't you? You collect toy soldiers, play war games, read all those stupid combat mags, and half your books are on Patton and Caesar and other various gits." And Rimmer defends this, saying, and this, of course, is the Alexander the Great speech that we talked about before. He says, "It's about leadership. That's what I admire. The ability to command, to outthink a worthy opponent on the field of battle." And Lister says, "Isn't that ironic when you're such a basic natural coward?"
Right.
He says, "Which coward?" They had a fight one time when literally Rimmer says, you were out that, sorry, Lister says that, what about that fight that started up and the planet leave on Miranda? You were out that door quicker than a whippet with a bum full of dynamite. Rimmer defends himself, says that was a barroom brawl, not a proper military battle, a shambolic set to. And he says, which you started. Which you started, Rimmer. Says, I made an innocuous comment. I voiced a rumor that McWilliams was sexually tilted in favor of sleeping with the dead. Didn't start the rumor, just voiced it.
Right.
To his face, to his face, while he was there with his 4 biggest mates. Then you did your Roadrunner act and left me to face the music. Says, I could have got hurt. Oh, you'd have made a brilliant general, wouldn't you? Then he says, generals don't smash chairs over people's heads. They don't smash Newcastle brown bottles into people's faces and say, stitch that, Jimmy. They're in the nice white tent on top of the hill, sipping Sancerre and directing the battle. They're men of honor. Rimmer's fucking fantasy of what it's like to be in the military is hilarious, actually.
Sickening.
There is a little bit of irony in this exchange, given what takes place in this episode. He says, how he respects the whole thing of besting one's opponent in combat. And when you think about what happens in this episode, he gets bested by Lister.
Yeah, he's actually outfoxed by Lister in this. And Lister, once again, this is one of those episodes where Lister does something really shitty to Rimmer again.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually, I think, at this point, Rimmer's like 1 and 2 against Lister on shitty things they've done to each other. Like, Rimmer tortured Lister in the first series. So I guess hiding the discs and tricking him into summoning another Rimmer. I guess that's 2.
That is kind of shitty, but I mean, he got mind raped effectively.
Yeah, then Lister gave him fake memories, which is pretty bad.
Right.
And now he's going to do this.
That was the wrong thing to do, but it was done with good intentions.
Whereas this is not. This is pure selfishness on Lister's part.
Yeah.
But there we go.
This is sod Rimmer.
They're asking, T-Jab Steve was asking about improv. From what I understand, they didn't improv that much on Red Dwarf. The lines were were delivered very much to the script, but with a little bit of improv, tiny bits here and there. Like, obviously, everyone's quite capable of improving, and if they did and it was better, then they would keep it. But the scripts were pretty tight. You can tell this because when you read the books, the jokes are all the same.
Yeah. Well, I've read the script for the pilot, which is pretty much the same as episode 1 and parts of episode 2, and I've read the scripts to series 8, and everything's like virtually the same, so I don't think there's actually much improv.
Nah, I mean, Grant and Naylor were very much celebrated comedians and comic writers at the time. They'd been on lots of different shows, but this was their first baby, and lost actually, because they broke up, but the show's still going. Anyway, Fantastically Amazingly Brilliant jumps in with £5. Thank you very much for that. Legit currency. Says, not going to lie, I really like Lister, but there are at least 2 episodes where he deserves his comeuppance. Marooned and Tika to Ride. Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely
definitely
correct.
I mean, especially Tika to Ride. Like, he literally fucks the flow of time by being that desperate to get a curry. So we'll get into that later.
It's that man we found.
Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot he disables Crichton's like guilt inhibitor so that Crichton won't argue with him about using a time machine to go back and get a curry. So he disables Crichton's guilt chip, and then because Crichton has no guilt, he's like doing all this crazy shit throughout the, like, he just starts smoking and like walking around with his groin attachment permanently hooked up and stuff like that. And
you just have to say the rules of time and space.
Who gives a smeg? Yeah. Who cares? Pork away. Anyway, so you get lots of funny scenes in that, but it is all Lister's fault because Crichton would have urged him not to if he had his guilt inhibitor. So there we go. And yeah, good points are well made there from Fantastically Amazingly Brilliant. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yeah.
And for enough.
I love the Sunday show. We get great people in the chat, and the bars always do well, which is lovely as well, because then I can go and talk to my wife with a smile on my face. You're very generous, and I appreciate you. All right, let's crack on then. We are going to have to talk a bit about Rimmer's Alexander the Great anecdote that we discussed before. So Lister says Rimmer makes battle sound and war sound romantic. He says, I'm going to tell you something. When I was 15, I went to Macedonia on a school trip to the site of Alexander the Great's palace. And for the first time in my whole life, I felt like I was at home. The place was where the place where I belonged. Years later, I got friendly with a hypnotherapist, Donald. Don't know why he feels necessary to tell him his name, but okay. And told him about the Alexander the Great thing. I mean, obviously, because it's just a really common ass name for a hypnotherapist to have. And he said he'd regress me back through my past lives. I was dubious, but I let him put me under. It turned out my instincts were absolutely correct. I had lived a past life in Macedonia. That palace was my home because, believe it or not, Lister, he told me that in a past incarnation, I was Alexander the Great's chief
eunuch.
That's so good. I remember watching that. I remember when I first watched that, I was about 13 when I first saw this episode, and I'd only sort of recently learned what a eunuch was from, I can't remember whether Monty Python or something else like that had taught me what a eunuch was.
Probably.
Maybe something like that, yeah. And I can't remember which thing it was. Maybe it was Blackadder or something as well. But anyway, yeah. So he was like, you know. Then I thought, you know, he was going to obviously say I was Alexander the Great.
Yeah, there's just a subtle enough pause.
Just there. I was Alexander the Great.
Chief eunuch.
Yeah. There's not really a pause. It's a change in the tone of voice.
Yeah, texture, isn't it? It's all about texture.
I was Alexander the Great's chief eunuch. And he's still happy with it.
And that is fantastic voice acting by Chris Barry as well.
Oh, he's a master. Absolute master.
Absolutely.
So there we go. Lister says, I believe you. He says he obviously didn't say I was Alexander the Great, but it explained a lot. I had lived a previous life alongside one of the greatest generals in history. No wonder the military's in my blood. He says, no wonder you're such a good singer. Anyway, there we go. We can crack on. We don't need to read the whole episode, but there we go. So they carry on talking. Rimmer says there is another funny line. It's a long one, this one. Isn't it? It says, why is it whenever I'm in a large group of women, I have this overwhelming urge to bathe them in warm olive oil? Must be because he was a eunuch. Lister says, I have that urge, Rimmer. It's got nothing to do with past lives. Anyway, he's like, because you're unhappy with your own Weasley humdrum existence, you're looking for something a bit more glamorous. But that doesn't matter because as soon as they're in the cockpit, Rimmer spots something while Lister, of course, is saying, you know, you need to open yourself up to new experiences. You got to live your life. Who knows what's going to happen today? Who knows what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes? That's what makes life so exciting. Smash! They get hit by a meteor and, of course, crash down onto this icy moon. And they're there for quite a while. Indeed. So a couple of days pass and Lister comes into Starbug where he's obviously been outside trying to dig him out. He's got this huge furry anorak on, like thermal coat. And we got to talk about this because this is irritating beyond belief. Here's Rimmer pressing a button.
Yeah.
He's making a Mayday call. Mayday, Mayday. And there's a good joke in there. Mayday, because he doesn't realize it's Mayday, which is French. Right. But he's saying Mayday like the
Sunday.
1st of May. Ascension Sunday. Yeah, exactly. And the whole time he's pressing the button to use the device, and he's a hologram, so he shouldn't be able to do that.
Play a little fast and loose with that, not only in this episode, but also in the next episode too.
I know, yeah. The other thing is he also, as Lister sits down, no, it wasn't there. It was before that. let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there. Look, he's resting his arm on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
In series 1, he couldn't do that. He went straight through a table. Remember, he could stuck his head out through a table in series 2. Now he's able to lean on them. Yeah, they really just really wish they hadn't made him a hologram. They just needed to. It still takes them three seasons to come up with an actual canon way for Rimmer to touch things as well. So, yeah, this is pretty broken.
That's Legion in series.
Yeah, when he gets this hard light drive, so he can actually be physical. It makes Rimmer basically indestructible, actually, which is hilarious because he's still a sniveling coward, even though he can't be hurt like at all. You can punch him in the face and he won't feel it because he's hard light, which of course is bollocks. But anyway, yes, there's still snowing, is it? Of course. Says it's useless. You can't move. We've been there for 3 days. It's impossible to find us in this weather. They could be 10 feet away and walk straight past us. He sits down and he realizes he's probably going to die. How much food is there? Rimmer says there's half a bag of soggy, smoky bacon crisps, a tin of mustard powder, a brown lemon, 3 water biscuits, 2 bottles of vinegar, and a tube of Bonjela gum ointment. Lister's like, gum ointment? He says, yes, it was in the first aid box. It's that minty flavor. Quite nice. So I'm going to assume that Rimmer tried the gum ointment before he died.
I would imagine.
But whatever. He says, it's quite nice if you smear it on your mouth also. You can't sit down to eat it. Rimmer says, you may have to. Is there anything else? He says, just a pot noodle. Now, obviously, in Asia where I live, cup noodle is a big brand. It's something that people eat every day.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly valid.
Yeah, you can get it over here. It's a completely different brand of pot noodle.
Yeah, but pot noodle is more or less the same exact thing. And there are lots of brands, tons of them here, different brands do them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously pot noodle in the UK is considered utter garbage. Like below worthy of human consumption, you know? But so they rip on pot noodles all the time. And then he says, oh, I found a tin of dog food in the tool cupboard. How did Rimmer find all these things and he can't open cupboards?
You know,
that's a good question. But maybe Starbug 2.
Maybe he stuck his head through the door.
And that's how it's able to.
Oh yeah, maybe he stuck his
Starbug
head through
1.
the door. That's true. He could stick his head through the door. It'll be a bit dark though. I don't know. They don't have any scutters with them either. In fact, I don't think there are any scutters in Series 3. I don't know. Anyway, Lister says, oh, well, pretty obvious what gets eaten last. I can't stand pot noodles.
Yeah.
Thereby implying that he'd rather eat the dog food. So there we go. He says again, we're going to die, aren't we? Correction, I'm going to die. You're a hologram. You're already dead. You don't need food. Rimmer says, did you find any wood? Lister says, there's no wood. There's no vegetation out there. Smeg all just a wasteland. Rimmer says, we can't let that fire go out. It's your only form of heat. Lister says, I'm going to die, aren't I? God, I'm hungry. I'm going to have the crisps. He starts losing it already. Rimmer's there as almost a friend to say, no, you ate less than 16 hours ago.
Yeah, this is where Rimmer really actually, like, this teeny little bit of
concern,
actual good guy in him. It's just like,
right. Yeah, you don't sense that he's enjoying this very much.
I really Smegging hate this person, but this is a human being, and him staying alive is on my conscience. So I need to now do my best for him.
Yeah, well said.
I remember the first time you see that from Rimmer.
In Series 1, do you think Rimmer would have the same attitude to Lister?
No.
Exactly. So there we go. Bit of character growth for you there, guys. They've been together for some years now, and they've been through a lot. And so here we are. Anyway, Lister gets some books to look for something to burn, but he gets angry again. Then I think, is it at this point when Rimmer goes back to trying to make a distress call? Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, why do we say May Day? It's only a bank holiday. Why not Shrove Tuesday or Ascension Sunday? And then he starts saying Ascension Sunday, 15th Wednesday after Pentecost, 15th Wednesday after Pentecost. He goes, it's French, you doink. It's May Day. Help me. Yeah, I've got the script up. If you want to jump in, get open and interrupt me. You can read parts of it if you want to. My voice will give out before I'm done with this episode. But there you go.
I prefer the little bits of my brain jumping in.
Okay, however you like it. Lister says it's French, but he says everywhere he look reminds him of food. He says, look at these books: Charles Lamb, Herman Wouk, the complete works of Sir Francis Bacon, Eric Van Lustbader. Rimmer's like, Eric Van Lustbader? What's he got to do with food? Lister says, van, bread van, meat van, food. He goes, look, you're getting obsessed. He goes, it's these books. It's like someone's put them here to taunt me. Look at this, The Caretaker by Harold Pinter. He goes, it's Pinter. Stop thinking about food. Take my mind off it. Talk about something.
Yeah.
So he says, like what? At this point, Lister's begging Rimmer to take his mind off food.
Yeah. The May Day line is also kind of funny in the subtle sense of, Rimmer having so much interest in
French
in
history.
French history, and yet he doesn't know
that it's French. Yeah. Whereas Lister, who's a slob, is better cultured than Rimmer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because he's
only,
lived around people and conversed with people and been with people and shagged people and had pints with people.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just what we learned from this is if only May Day was something that was said in Esperanto, then everything would be all right. And it seems that Will's hologram system has gone offline for a moment as well. So I guess it's just you and I for a moment until he logs back on. There we are.
We've done it before. We'll do it again. It's fine.
Indeed.
Can you hear me?
Indeed. Yes.
Good. Okay. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant for £20. Oh my God, lady, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Says, I guess this is probably one of the reasons why the episode Legion exists. Oh, was beaten to the punch by Iris, right? Was going to say they could do more with Rimmer when he becomes Hardlight. Yes, Legion is another one of my faves. Me too, actually.
It's a great episode. It's a great episode.
Yeah. Oh, I love Legion. It's another one that's a little bit unsung. Like, it's not one of the real sort of pillar episodes, which is funny because it's not. I didn't see it for quite a long time until Red Dwarf was syndicated on UK TV. At which point I finally saw it, and because I always wondered when did Rimmer go from red to blue and get Hardlight. That's not happened yet, but and it's literally in that episode. Just literally goes, oh, let me look at this light bee, and pulls a load of shit out of it, throws one small object in, and tosses it back, and Rimmer reappears in a different colored costume. Now physically able to touch people and virtually indestructible. Yeah, which has its own share of jokes, because later in that episode they all have to get incapacitated in order to help them get away from the trouble that they're in, and it becomes almost impossible because you can't knock Rimmer out because he can't be hurt. So they have to find other ways to do things. Anyways, good shit. We'll get to that, of course, all in due time. But yeah, thank you very much. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant. Massive support. Love it. Thank you so much.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanahangara cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger Bankhanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. And Eris Rhoda, of course, I see what you did there. One Will of the Fans membership. Thank you, filling up the bar, finishing up. That I can't do in pounds for the bar, but I appreciate both of you guys. There you go, that'll do. Boomf, something like that. And TJAP Steve as well jumps in. Fucking hell, from the top rope with the thumbtacks for the warm olive oil bathing fund and to fill the bar so John can have some self-care and for Eris's new background. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? I like that a lot. It's really cool. There we go. I need the clip of the super duper long one from Series 8. That's what I've been waiting for fucking ages. But I kind of want to wait until we get to that episode before I unleash it because it's so funny if you see it for the first time and I've ruined it by putting it as a clip on the channel. That's why I haven't done it yet.
To be fair, I've actually done it physically in real life on the show.
Yeah, I did that as well. When that aired, I tried to mimic it and fuck, it does hurt after a while. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Amazing. All right, I need to check in with the wifey because I was late to start and we are only about halfway through the first of 2 episodes, so I need to double check that everything is okay with her and the kids. So enjoy your gooning and I will be right back. There we go.
Oh, damn it! I was looking for my warm virgin olive oil. What?
It's horrible when you lose your warm virgin olive oil.
Yeah, I didn't even have time to get my wet wipes out. What the fuck? Anyway, everything's cool. Wifey and niecey and babies are good, so we've got like another hour or so, no problem. All right, good. That's good to know because this is taking, as always, longer than I think it's going to. But there we go. So we can continue to move through the episode. Thank you very much for the support, everybody. Love you very much. Appreciate you all. It's great stuff. If you feel like it, keep them coming. I'm not going to say no. But in the meantime, let's crack on. So Lister is now desperate for anything to take his mind off food. So he asks Rimmer to tell him something, anything, talk about a topic. He tells him, tell me how you lost your virginity. And now we begin with the canon breakage because we've established in series 2 that Rimmer only had sex once in his life, and it was while on Red Dwarf with Yvonne Magruder. And that gets retconned quite spectacularly here. And again, I maintain that I don't know what happened. I mean, in Rimmer's memory, he'd also have banged Lisa Yates.
Right.
Which is, it's fucked.
Lister already knows that.
Yeah, that's true. But as for how he lost his virginity, it's interesting. Especially if you know that in real life, Chris Barry, Rimmer, is a massive, massive car enthusiast. Like collects classic cars and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, he's fucking cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty badass dude, actually. Anyway, so he says how I lost it. Well, it was so long ago. I was so young and sexually precocious, I'm not sure I can remember. Says everyone can remember how they lost their virginity. It's one of those things. Like everyone can remember where they were when Cliff Richard was shot. Kind of an old joke now, but that's pretty good. You know, that would be like, who's the modern equivalent of Cliff Richard? Like some singer that's Justin Bieber. It would be like that. It would be, if you made that joke now, it would be like everyone can remember where they were when Justin Bieber was shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe, you know, like Harry Styles or someone. Or maybe Harry Sisson, although that would make more sense. Yeah. Anyway, Harry Sisson is a cigarette, by the way. So anyway, or when the first woman landed on Pluto, or when they installed the gigantic toupee over the Earth to cover the gap in the ozone layer. It's just one of those things you'll always remember. Rimmer says, well, I don't. Good grief, you can hardly expect me to recall every sexual liaison I've ever partaken of. What do you think I am, Marvo the Memory Man? Although Marvo is not in the delivery of the line, but it's in the script. Lister says, come on, Rimmer, the truth. He goes, the truth? Not much to tell, really. I've always been a bit of a fish out of water when it comes to women. We know this. Is he making this up? Which one of these stories is true? Look, it's a comedy show, okay? It's not like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or even Harry Potter, where the canon needs to be cemented.
Yeah, the thing with Red Dwarf is when it breaks canon, it takes the piss out of itself for breaking canon.
Kind of often,
like,
yeah.
Like even like in its own like surplus media. If you've watched like the Smeg Ups VHSs that they had out in the late 90s,
they're all on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, are they? Cool. But like people used to write in and ask questions, and Robert Llewellyn dressed up as Crichton used to answer them. And
it's true.
Like, how come this happened? How come this happened? And
oh,
Robert
well,
Llewellyn dressed as Crichton would turn to me because
space-time continuum
made a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you used to see Red Dwarf conventions too, where the fans would be there, and you'd always get the same kinds of questions. You'd get ones like, how was Lister able to flip off Rimmer and drive away on a motorbike without, like, when he needs his throttle to be able to accelerate and stuff like that. But then they when you actually watch that back, he puts his hand back on the throttle and drives. So I don't know what, unless they shot it backwards or something. But the other one is everyone just goes, what does Smeg mean? And whenever there's a very famous clip of the entire cast sort of sliding down off their seats and crawling away on their elbows and feet, like flat off the stage in response to the question because they don't want to answer it. And then
does Smeg actually mean what I think it means?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it means it in the context of Red Dwarf, but when I was 13, my English teacher said to me, it's smegma. I said, what's that? And then she told me. Like, ew, that's fucking disgusting. For the uninitiated, it's dick cheese.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it.
Okay, that is what I thought it meant.
Yeah, it's dick cheese. So there you go. Rufus Grimm for $1.99 says it was Diddy who shot Bieber and he didn't use a gun. Oh!
I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
Very good, thank you. All right, so anyway, so Rimmer's losing of his virginity. Nez says, I'm always a fish out of water when it comes to women, never know what to say. I wasn't very highly sexed, to be honest with you. I think it was all the school cabbage I was forced to eat as a boy. Still, the first time was this girl I met at cadet college, Sandra, she was called. We did it in the back of my brother's car. And he says, there you go, I'm just catching up. He goes, what was it like? And he says, brilliant. Incredible. Bentley V8 convertible. V8 turbo. Walnut veneer paneling. Marvelous machine. So what about you? It says Michelle Fisher. 9th hole of the Bootle Municipal Golf Course. Par 4. Dog leg to the right. In the bunker behind the green. Look, River says, you lost your virginity on a golf course? How did you have the nerve? He goes, it wasn't in the middle of the Ryder Cup or anything. It was midnight. He goes, oh, I see. He goes, Michelle Fisher. God, she was gorgeous. He goes, how old were you? Just gorgeous. If she'd wanted, she could probably have got a job behind the perfume counter at John Lewis's. That's how good looking she was. He goes, how old were you? He goes, she just took off all her clothes and stood there in front of me completely naked. I was so excited I nearly dropped my skateboard. He goes, skateboard? How old were you? He goes, 12. 12? 12 years old? Look, not for nothing.
Member of the golf club.
Not for nothing, but actually that's the same age I was the first time I did stuff like that. And
really?
yeah. Yeah, there was a girl on my street who invited me to play house, and I wasn't innocent when I left. Let's just say that.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't her. It wasn't only her either. It was her friend. Yeah. So there you go. That's a true story. Yeah, that's a true story. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Now you can't really say things like that anymore.
It looks dark because you've got sunglasses on.
Yeah. Well, it's probably to hide how cringe my eyes are right now. But there you go.
Awesome.
But yeah, so he lost his virginity when I'm probably more so than I did when he was 12. It says, you lost your virginity when you were 12? Yeah. He goes, well, then you can't have been a full member of the golf club then. He goes, of course I wasn't. You did it on a golf course and you weren't a member? It's just so Rimmer. This is so fucking Rimmer. Unbelievable. Anyway, there we go. He says, of course I wasn't. He goes, you didn't pay any green fees or anything? He goes, it was just a place to go. I used to play golf. I hate people who abuse the facilities. I hope you raked back sand nicely before you left. That'd be a hell of a lie to get into, wouldn't it? Competition the next day and your ball lands in Lister's buttock crevice. You need more than a niblick to get that one out. He says, are you trying to say I've got a big bum? He says, big. It's like two badly parked Volkswagens. The only things I ever lost when I was 12 were my shoes and my compass in the heel, and with my compass in the heel and the animal tracks on the soles. Porky Roebuck threw them in the septic tank behind the sports ground. Porky Roebuck keeping to the cannon. See, you break cannon in one breath and put it back together with another, because Porky Roebuck was mentioned in series 2 as the kid in the Space Scouts that wanted to eat Rimmer.
Was he not also the guy who got the tension?
What?
The tension?
Oh, the tension sheet. I think so. Yeah, I think later on in this series he gives it to Porky. Yeah, I think it is Porky Roebuck actually. Yeah, that he gives the tension sheet.
I mean, I shut up because I realized I was going forwards and not backwards.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we'll get to that.
We'll be time.
I mean, it's like no one's gonna like, unless they've already seen the show, and anyone who's not seen the show, that's not enough to spoil an episode. So,
cool.
Well, it might be, because if they can connect the dots and realize that there's a way for him to be able to talk to Porky Roebuck, but you know, whatever. Anyway, T-Jap Steve is here for $2. Things Will and Lister have in common for 300.
Indeed, and I was my comparison to people on the panel to the characters in the show is even more.
Yeah, I've always got Lister. Even when we we did a play of Red Dwarf at school, because we were all getting into it at the same time. We had to do a play. Like, it was just one of these things. We were like 13. They're like, we want you guys to host an assembly. Say what?
I said, oh fuck, I've done this too. Let's have yours first.
Just literally, they said one day at school, in my upper school, first year of upper school, year 9, they said, we want groups of people to get together and host their own assemblies so that they can get good at either public speaking or put on a show or a play or something like that. And a bunch of us got together. And at the time, we'd all been religiously watching Red Dwarf because I'd got into it and started sharing it with my friends. A lot of them hadn't seen it before, and some had. And before long, we were all like, oh, yeah, let's just write our own episode of Red Dwarf. And we were like, who's playing who? Everyone was like, you should be Lister. I was like, why? Because I can do a Liverpudlian accent. They were like, no, because he doesn't just remind me of him. Well, he's a total slob. They were like, yeah, he's kind of nice. So are you. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Yeah. And then I made like my friend who was really uptight be Rimmer. And then I had like a lanky friend who was kind of weird looking and kind of like a bean face. And I was like, oh, you're Crichton. And then I had this mate who was actually really fat, but he was the only one left. So I was like, I guess you're the cat then. And to be fair, he did a good job. What about you?
Yeah, well, like, just like, it wasn't a special assembly or anything. It was just like drama class.
Okay.
So like we were like 12, 13, and the only people who could stand me decided that they wanted to like base their thing on a chat show. So I just literally came on as the cat. This cat came in, hey, like,
Right.
Am I early? Am I late? And like Nick, this pianist that I'd been working with, pianist as in piano player.
Reach into the bishop, mate.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? He was playing the chat show host, and he said, "Oh no, don't worry, Cat, you're early." And like we just like completely ripped off of each other for about 5 minutes, and
nice.
we got really good fucking marks for it. And
You
like,
will, yeah.
All I was doing was pretending to be the cat from Red Dwarf, and all anyone else was doing was pretending to be chat show guests.
Right. I did something like that as well once, actually, where I had to host a chat show in drama, and I can't remember who I based it on someone. But when I was 12, I was also in the school play. For some reason that year, everyone decided that it was cool to be in the school play instead of lame, and it was this production of Dazzle, which is like a musical based on Star Trek, like a piss take of Star Trek. That's probably why. And I didn't want to sing. I was really scared to sing back then. I'm actually a pretty decent singer, but back then I was terrified of it. So I wanted to go for the only role that didn't have to sing a single note in the entire thing, which was the host, the narrator of the show, who's a radio DJ. And his character's name is Gary Gemini. And I based that entirely on Ace Ventura. Like I did my hair.
Awesome.
I did my hair like Ace Ventura. I borrowed a Hawaiian shirt from my uncle.
Oh man, I even had the trousers. I even had the trousers.
I couldn't find any of them trousers, but I just wore some big baggy jeans. And I walked out there and I was like, "Good afternoon, homeworld people." You know, and stuff. Just the whole thing. My voice hadn't broken yet, though. It did like a month later. So there's a bit of video footage of me out there going, "Good afternoon, homeworld people." Like.
To be fair,
I've got a really, really good embarrassing one. Like when I was like obviously I'm saying Mages Guild, so like when I was a kid and I was obsessed with Ace Ventura, like I dressed up in the Hawaiian shirt and the hair and all that shit.
Yeah, it sounds like you and me would have been like best friends if we'd met when we were young.
To be fair, though, I've known quite a few. I was going to say I've known quite a few radio personalities, and they actually do also tend to wear Hawaiian shirts quite frequently.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's because I always thought Ace Ventura looked more like a radio host than a pet detective, whatever that is.
Indeed.
But go on.
Yeah, I was doing this. Me, my dad, and his missus, because my mum and dad, like I got on with them both, but they split up when I was little. But we were all fine.
Right.
So I'd stay with my dad at the weekends, and me, my dad, and his missus went out to the park, and I was just, like doing my Ace Ventura impressions, and I wanted to go like "Holy Testicle Tuesday,"
yeah,
but I didn't want to say testicle in front of my dad's wife, so I changed one of the words, but I changed the wrong word, and I went "Holy Testicle Thursday," and then just completely fucking face palmed.
Dumbass. Well, there you go, man. That's still not the worst thing. That's not as bad as the most embarrassing faux pas I ever made. I once asked my dad to pull his eyes into slits and poke out his false teeth and do an impression of a Chinese guy, and then then I did it myself to show him what I meant. I was about 9, and then as my vision cleared, I realized that the bassist in the band, who was also sitting at the table in the pub with us, was sitting next to a Chinese woman, his girlfriend. And I died of embarrassment. And then actually she and I became like really close. So that was...
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens.
I was so mortified, man. I'd never been so embarrassed in all my life. I still fucking remember it sometimes and just cringe. Like, oh, no, I did it. I did that. You know? There we go. It is like Father Ted. Yeah, it is. It's just like Father fucking Ted. Yeah. Anyway, I think maybe the fact that these two are telling anecdotes is why we've ended up doing it. But let's get on with the episode a little bit. So, Rimmer's talking about how he never lost anything when he was 12 except his shoes because Porky Roebuck threw them in the septic tank behind the sports ground. He says he cried for weeks. He was wearing them. He says, I never even thought about sex when I was 12. He says, maybe that's because you used to be Alexander the Great's chief eunuch. Great. Anyway, he starts tearing pages out of the books. Rimmer's not very happy at all. He says, books are a thing of beauty, the voice of freedom, the essence of civilization. Reads the title Biggles' Big Adventure. Well, perhaps not that one, but you know what I'm saying. Complete works of Shakespeare should be good for a couple of hours. 3 days without food and the walls of civilization come tumbling down, says Rimmer. He says, what do you mean? Yeah, he is not wrong, actually. We've seen quite a lot of it ourselves, haven't we? It says, Rimmer says, they say every society is only 3 meals away from revolution. Deprive a culture of food for 3 meals and you'll have anarchy. And it's true, isn't it? You haven't eaten for a couple of days and you've turned into a barbarian. He says, I'm just burning a book. Because it's not just a book, it's probably the only copy of probably the greatest work in English literature. Probably the only copy left in the entire universe, and you're quite happy to toss it on the fire to keep your little mitts warm for 15 minutes. He says, well, that's it then, is it? Goodbye, Hamlet. Farewell, Macbeth. Toodle Pip, King Lear. He says, have you ever read any of it? He says, I've seen West Side Story. This is basically Romeo and Juliet, of course. Right. He says, have you actually read any? But I can quote some, though. He goes, go on then. And then, of course, finally you get Rimmer standing like this, and it just goes, now! And then pause.
Some things.
No. He just goes, now! And then that's all I can remember. Yeah. He goes, where's that from then? Richard III, you moron. The speech he does at the beginning declaims, what was it, Rhoda? You just said it.
Something.
Yeah. Now something. This is the great quote of it. Completely destroys his entire argument.
Yeah.
Like, it's about culture. It's about civilization, the voice of freedom. You've never read a word of it, have you? Yeah, one.
but in that it is doing more character exposition on the surface level of Rimmer's, kind of prestigious worldviews and things like that. He's not in any way involved in any of the things. Like, he cares about French culture, but he doesn't know French language.
Yeah, it's all superficial.
It's like,
he's a virtue signaler.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Sardoc's back for £10. My God, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Says, could have been worse. One of my students, bless his heart, wanted to say, if you're stuck in traffic, the people behind will blow their horns at you. What he did say was, they'll horn you from behind.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
Drop it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your cooperation. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, obviously it's now is the winter of our discontent, from
which would also be appropriate for the situation that they're currently in.
Yes, it actually would be appropriate, but he can't remember it because he's Rimmer.
Because he doesn't actually know.
He doesn't actually fucking know anything. He just does it all for show because he's a virtue signaler. So there we go. Anyway, he goes, that speech, that brilliant now speech, now something. It's brilliant writing. It really is unforgettable. Lister says, okay, I'll save Shakespeare till last. Is it okay if I burn Lolita? He says, save page 61. Woo. PDF alert. But there you go. Lister opens it and finds page 61. There we go. Where is it?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, that bit. He goes,
that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. And then he rips it out and puts it in his pocket. There you go. Back to the model shots then. So we're still sitting waiting. Now Shakespeare's finally burning. That's the end of it. And Lister is resorting to the dog food.
Yep.
You lucky people, there's an overlay on top of this. But I'm going to play this because, frankly, I don't care if BBC steal my 20p of monetization at this point. So there we go. Look at Rimmer's face in the background if you can see it. I wanted to make this the thumbnail, but I couldn't find a good way to lay it out. It is the picture I've taken for the rankings, though, because I did the whole series of screenshots for that right after last week's stream. So they're all set. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're at this point now. Lister looks at it. He goes, "You could take that look off your face like I'm doing something disgusting. I'm just trying to stay alive." He goes, "You're going to eat the dog food." Because I haven't eaten for 6 days. Yes, I'm going to eat the dog food.
Now,
there we are.
This is the part of me where I'm just like, he had all that mustard powder. Why not at least mix that in?
I guess. I think even Rhoda's run away.
Right.
He goes, "I'm sure the dog food will be lovely." He goes, "This isn't dog food. It's a piece of prime fillet steak in blue cheese sauce. It's been charcoal broiled in garlic butter, and it's going to taste delicious. Delicious. Delicious." Oh. And the camera kind of tracks in to follow it into his mouth as he shovels this mouthful of, I don't know what the hell it really was, but
it looked like a meatball of some kind,
like mulched up meatball or something. Yeah. Covered in like some kind of gelatin. So that yeah. Oh, anyway, he pops it into his mouth and swallows it, and then he says, "Now I know why dogs lick the testicles. It's to take away the taste of the food." So stove's getting low. Better throw another book on. That's the last one. You've burnt all of them. It turns out we've got nothing left to burn except Rimmer's trunk. And he says, "No, it's Javanese camphor wood. It's priceless." He says, "There's nothing left to burn except the trunk." And what's in the trunk? He goes, "Now, wait a minute. Not the Army du Nord." He says, "Rimmer, get real, man. If it burns, we burn it. What's the least valuable?" "Not the trunk. My father gave me the trunk. The soldiers then. They're 19th century. They're irreplaceable. They were hand-carved by the legendary Dubois brothers." So there we go.
And so now
he says, "Well, alternatively, we can burn
the money.
Something else." Yeah. And he grabs the wad of cash.
Yeah. Now, oddly enough, because I was thinking about this earlier when inflation was mentioned, but $24,000 wouldn't even buy a seat for the front row of the upcoming WWE event, the upcoming WrestleMania for next year. There's $70,000.
It wouldn't buy a seat at one of the big four. It wouldn't buy you a seat at Survivor Series.
No, it's $70,000 for a front seat.
Yep. It's insane.
Yeah.
The prices are insane at WWE shows. Anyway, there we go. So that's it. Anyway, it turns out they have no choice but to burn the money. Doesn't want to burn his guitar, so they decide that they can burn the money. Anyway, they've gone on down. How much has gone so far? 5,800. 5,800 throws another wad on. 6 grand. Says the whole 24 grand is
you're going underwater, Will.
Yeah, there's a weird sound I can hear.
Yeah, he went underwater there. I don't know what happened.
What is that? There's like some fan noise or something. Just started out of nowhere.
Where's it coming from?
There is a fan noise coming from my computer, but that's been going on the whole time.
Oh, you were just suddenly much louder and then got quieter again.
Yeah, we're having all
the problems today.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Let me find out if the fan is me, because I do have.
It's gone now.
Okay.
And
so it's washed out, whatever. But you should re-say what you were saying.
Yeah, I was reading it. Basically, he's throwing the money on the pile. It's burning. He says it took him 10 years to save it, and it's time to unpack the soldiers. Rimmer's not happy at all. He says it's heartbreaking. He says, "Look, I know it's a bummer, but they're just possessions. They're not that important." He throws on some more money. Rimmer's like, "This isn't happening. It's a nightmare." He goes, "You got to get your priorities right. It's like people you read about who run back into a burning house to rescue some treasured piece of furniture and wind up burning to death. Nothing is more important than a human life." He goes, "What about your guitar?" "Except my guitar. Why didn't we think about it before? We can burn your guitar." "Not my guitar, Rimmer. It's made of wood." "Yeah, but it's my guitar. I've had it since I was 16. It's an authentic Les Paul copy."
3G
But
strings.
it's not worth anything. It's just a thing. He goes, it's my lifeline. I need that guitar. You know, when the loneliness gets to me, it's the only way I can escape. I know I'm not exactly a wizard on it. It's only got 5 strings and 3 of them are G. But the whole my life, I never had anything to hang on to. No roots, no parents, no education. Going to art college. All I've ever had is that guitar. It's the only thing in my whole miserable smegging life that hasn't walked out on me. Don't make me burn it. And then he sort of goes, we've got to. He says, okay, well, let me just play one more song. And he starts singing She's Out of My Life, which again is sort of oh Christ, here we go. This is where the episode stops working now because I've
well,
waited
everything
too long.
has to go at some point in time. Which while you're getting it back up, Noel did say something that I thought was a nice little quip. He said, "Will of the fan noise."
That's good. That's very good. Well done. But so there you go. Anyway, Lister starts playing his guitar. Where is it? Where were we? That's it. Share screen, get it back up. There we go. Hello. Right. Hold on. And boom. Okay. So he wants to play a song on his guitar. Starts playing She's Out of My Life.
Rimmer walks out of the room.
Rimmer's kind of humiliated, embarrassed by it. So not humiliated, he's just cringe, you know. So he gets out and goes for a walk in the snow. And at this point, Lister realizes Rimmer's gone. And so he runs over to the trunk, to the ancient Javanese camphor wood chest and draws round his guitar in the surface of the case, and then immediately starts cutting around it. There you go. You can see he's like somehow cut out a piece of the chest that is the exact same size and shape as his guitar. But come on, let's be honest here. You would not like. You'd be able to see the knobs and things like melting, you know. But oh well,
You
whatever.
would think that you would, like
The machine heads are made of metal, you know, not wood. But whatever, it's bonkers.
It's all right,
but
though. It's all right.
it is. It's all right. Fine, whatever. And the worst part is now that like Rimmer's reaction is like the most earnest and genuine thing that you've ever like seen, and this probably would have turned their relationship around completely. Like this is as close as they get to being true friends, like having gone through this hell together.
Right.
Rimmer comes back and discovers that Lister seemingly has in fact burned his guitar.
And
He
does
says,
this
"I
long
don't know what to say."
soliloquy about how great of a person
Yeah.
he is.
Well, I'm going to read it because it's marvelous.
Yeah.
He says, "I don't know what to say," because there's nothing to say. He goes, "You've made a supreme sacrifice. You know that? A supreme sacrifice had to be done." He says, "I've been judging a book by its cover, haven't I? All these years, that's what I've been doing. But when it comes down to it, you're one heck of a regular guy." Lister's like, because there's no point being modest. I know that guitar, what that guitar meant to you. It's the same as what that trunk means to me. If that trunk got so much as scratched, I'd be devastated. It's not the outward value for me. That trunk is a link to the past, a link to the father I never managed to square things with.
A link to the past.
Yeah.
I know.
And the entire time,
He's going,
Lister's
"Is
face
it?"
is just
wincing with disgust
Every
at
word.
himself. Yeah, shame, you know. He goes, "It's the only thing he ever gave me apart from his disappointment." Lister covers his face. He goes, "But you've shown me by burning your guitar what true value is." Lister's like, "Oh." He goes, "Decency, self-sacrifice. Those are the things that make up real wealth. And from where I'm standing, I'm a pretty rich man." He goes, "Oh God." He goes, "Burn the soldiers." He goes, "No, not soldiers too." He goes, "You burnt your guitar. I want to make a sacrifice too." He says, "Burn the army de Nord, cast them into the flames. Let them lay down their lives for the sake of friendship." Sniffs the air. He goes,
"Right.
What's that smell?" Lister goes, "What smell? I can't smell any smell." He goes, "Camphor wood." He goes, "Oh God." And then you think he's rumbled him, but he turns around. He goes, "Your guitar was made of camphor wood."
Fucking priceless.
I know, it's awful, isn't it? He goes, Your guitar was made of camphor wood. It's probably worth a fortune. Burn the soldiers. Burn them right now.
Right.
He's just dashing them off like that. I'm trying to find it. Where's the... Like that. He's like waving his arm around like dramatically going, burn the soldiers. So there we go. And now here we are at the end of it all.
And almost as soon as they start burning.
Yeah, the soldiers are there. Rimmer's giving them a send-off with an instrument that we used, my friend and I used to refer to as the scrumpet, which is when you just, me and my mate made that term up for when you use your mouth to make a trumpet sound. So he goes, and it just goes on and on and on. There he is doing it. Then he does his salute. There we go. Basically, as they're burning away, he says, au revoir, mes amis, à bientôt. So he does speak French, which is interesting. He says, look, there's something I've got to tell you, something awful. He goes, if it's about how you finished off the dog food, I understand. Now, Rimmer's being super nice to Lister.
Right.
Like the nicest we've ever seen. Like if Lister had actually sacrificed his guitar, there's every chance that their friendship would have been infinitely stronger forever. Anyway, man, this episode's a ball ache to get through, isn't it? It's long because it's all dialogue. But there we go. Anyway, suddenly the cat and Crichton arrive. Hey, they made it. They've been gone for 6 days. They rendezvoused with Holly, and after 2 days, when you hadn't turned up, I said we should go look for you after 2 more days. He said, we've been everywhere. 14 moons, 2 planets. He says, I've been so worried, I haven't buffed my shoes in 2 days. So anyway, Holly managed to navigate her way through 5 black holes. Holly says, and here's your payoff to that. As she appears on Crichton's mid section as well, which is really cool.
Yep.
Says, well, as it transpires, there weren't any black holes. And Rimmer goes, but you saw them on the monitor. She goes, there weren't black holes. He goes, what were they? She says, grit. 5 specks of grit on the scanner scope. See, the thing about grit is it's black. And the thing about scanner scopes, oh, shut up. Yeah, and River says, oh, shut up. And Lister's like, come on, let's go.
Yep. So they've gone on this whole escapade for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, literally no reason at all for any of this. And Rimmer's lost everything as well. Rimmer says, something happened here, Crichton. Something that made us closer. I saw a side of Dave Lister I didn't know existed. He's not just an irresponsible, selfish drifter out for number 1. He's a man of honor. Lister comes back in,
as he
looking at the floor. He crosses over to the locker and grabs his guitar. Says, excuse me.
Yeah.
Is this, have I skipped it or?
No,
that's not it.
No.
There it is.
He comes in, yeah, he's so sheepishly just
excuse me,
because he knows he's a piece of shit.
Pulls out his guitar, walks back, and then Rimmer tells Crichton to open the trunk.
Yep.
And then, of course, he looks through the trunk because there's a huge guitar-shaped hole
shot
at the back of it,
which is brilliantly shot.
Yeah, wonderful shot. And he says, Crichton, get the hacksaw and follow me. Where are we going? He says, we're going to do to Lister what Alexander the Great once did to me. The end. Yeah, indeed. Great episode. Unbelievable. Perfect TV. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all, apart from there's minor cannon break, but fuck it. Like, that's as good as TV can get, as far as I'm concerned. Comedy. You know what I mean?
If it was the first time you saw that and you sat down, your mate had said, oh, there's this cool sci-fi comedy show on, you might want to watch it, and you sat down and watched it, and it was that, you'd be like, yeah,
yeah, it's great. You might be a bit like, where's the sci-fi? But at the start, yeah. But that would probably, I mean, that is a lot of people's first episode. And it is, and yeah, you'd be like, dragged through it by the dialogue. It just flows. It just flows spectacularly all the way through. You just get carried on this effortless little ride for half an hour where you hear all these funny little stories and silly little jokes, and yet they're not silly. They're not non sequitur jokes. They're not random gags. They're jokes based on character that's been set up before.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic. You know,
Very
if it was.
natural
Why is everybody wearing shades? By the way, I tried, but
Oh, I'm wearing them because we got to the bar. We got to the halfway point on the bar,
I'm wearing these because that's what I do.
and I forgot to take them off because I always put shades on when someone plays the money song on another
okay.
channel.
When I
and
came
I
back
just
on,
decided to go.
yeah, when I came back on camera, the person who sent me the camera requested that I put on sunglasses, so I do that now. So yeah, it makes
And
me
we
look
get
more
to
like
follow it up with an even, not even better, but at the same tier, and yet totally different. Whereas that last episode was like zero budget, all based on dialogue and character. This episode is based on farce, totally ridiculous situations.
This is pure comedy.
Yeah, this is like slapstick and dialogue and sight gags and dirty humor and everything in one episode.
Yep.
So we begin actually this episode with a disclaimer. I don't know if it's in the script. It's not. It says, I can't remember what it says. It's something like, warning, this episode of Red Dwarf contains, things that might make you scared, basically. And so we crack on. We get to the titles. I remember when I watched that as a kid, that actually kind of rattled me for a second.
Yeah, and the thing about this episode too is it's it is clearly very much influenced by aliens. Yeah.
The whole show is actually.
Yeah,
that's Rob and Doug's, Grant and Naylor's biggest influence is Alien.
Yeah,
your first one.
I mean, even the fact that it's called polymorph, like a xenomorph, and the multiple mouths within mouths, and
yep, it's got a little mouth that comes out and fucking plugs your head. Yep. Anyway, this is again the gold standard of Red Dwarf. Hopefully, it's quicker to get through, but again, there's an awful lot of ridiculously good jokes in this one, so we'll try anyway. So Crichton and Rimmer are in a terminal. Oh no, wait! Before that, we get, of course, the shot of this thing, and it says something like, "Do not attempt to engage with the creature inside this habitation." It feeds on the worst emotions of humanity. I can't remember what the exact dialogue is, and it's not in the script.
Remember this at the end, because we need to come back to this at the end.
Well, the great thing about this is a callback to
no spoilers.
Yeah, no. This is a callback though to the episode where they picked up the garbage.
Yeah,
and because I mean, this is
because Rimmer wanted aliens.
Right, and he's about to get aliens.
Now you're going to get one, yeah. Although apparently everything in space is from Earth originally, so
right.
this isn't an alien. It's just a genetic experiment gone horribly wrong. Right. So there you go. Genetic waste. Do not open.
Which oddly enough, too,
and we see that there's a hole in it.
About xenomorphs as well. So even all the way back when, they were actually on point.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. We can see that we've got a hole in the side of it, and now we're at Red Dwarf. And somehow this thing has made it onto Red Dwarf. We're not quite sure how. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant is here for £5. Thank you very much. Says Disagree, Will. Polymorph is even better than Marooned and highly regarded by fans, especially a certain scene, shall we say, another of my faves. I know which one you're talking about. There's two really hilariously stupid scenes in this that I completely die for. Okay, yeah, all right. You know what? Maybe it is better.
I mean, they in the intro, multiple clips from this episode.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I mean, half the intro is this episode. Yeah. Anyway, it's managed to get in, and here we are looking through its mouth, scuttling around in the corridor. It's got this stupid sound effect. This voice is going. It's Beavis. It's fucking Beavis. It's like TP for my bunghole.
It is Space Beavis, yes.
Yeah, it's Space Beavers. There we go. So there we go. It's scattering around. It takes a look at itself. It goes,
Growing up, also, and I don't know if you ever
looks like a boglin.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. My friend Dave, he used, yeah. He used to have those growing up, and one of the first times I hung out at his house, like he's like, "Have you seen boglins?" And oh god, it was just exactly like this.
Oh, hang on, I need to stretch. Oh, I sat down for too long. All right. So there we go. So now there's not really any way to do this without just playing the bloody thing. That's what the watermark's for anyway. Suddenly it just blip. It's a teddy bear. Blip. It's a bucket and spade. Blip. It's a bunch of flowers. Blip. It's a small toy truck. Blip. It's a doll. Blip.
Right.
And then
Which
blip,
is
blip, 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 blip,
amazing
blip, blip, blip.
visual exposition, because they are quite literally showing you this can be anything.
Yeah, anything. And at the same time, it's hilarious because they clearly just used any old junk they had around the studio, like props from other shows and stuff. You know, bucket, alarm clock, football, scrubbing brush. You know, I don't think I've ever paused this to a Buddha statue, another ball, a bunny rabbit.
The bunny.
Yeah, can you imagine being like the art guy and like knocking on the studio next door? If you've got a prop we can use,
have you got anything we can use?
What sort of prop?
Anything,
yeah, sure.
Literally anything that's less than 2 feet wide, basically.
Yeah, the only thing would have made it funnier is if they would have used one of those French soldiers from the previous episode.
Oh, that would have been funny. Yeah, melted too, or partially burned. Anyway, whatever. So we cut to now. Where? What the fuck? This isn't the right episode at all. Hang on a minute.
I think you're an episode ahead.
Yeah, I've ended up with body swap open. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. I was wondering because I was like, I don't remember there being a scene in the drive.
But there is a cooking scene right at the beginning of this one as well.
There is, and this scene is gonna get fucking crazy, really, really fast. So, they're in the officers' quarters, which is apparently where they now live, which is the explanation for why their bunks have changed and they don't live in those metallic-y steel rooms that they did before. So now they're living here in the officers' quarters.
Yeah, I love this scene. Where
and Lister's preparing a meal, so now he's got a microwave and everything.
Looks at the spoon, so like, is it the right amount?
It's 1 spoon out of the chili powder. Says not too little, not too much. That's important. Taps the spoon on the edge of the can just to get the right amount, and then dumps the entire can into a bowl, apart from the 1 spoon which he puts back in the can. Thus does the legend of Lister's single functioning taste bud begin. It says, here we go. And Crichton walks in with his vacuum cleaner attachment. Says, I thought I'd just give your quarters a quick tickle around, sir. I won't take a jiff. Says, not now, Crichton. I'm cooking. Crichton attaches the tube to his groin and immediately begins vacuuming. And I mean, that just writes itself. That, I mean, you know, what do you want me to say about that? Crichton has dick attachments. That one of them is a vacuum cleaner. There's a whisk. There's just horrible stuff.
Right. And the joke about the whole making eggs with the whisk attachment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He says, I didn't know you could do that. He says, yes, I can plug a number of add-ons onto my groinal socket, allowing me to perform virtually any household task imaginable. He says, oh, you name it, buzzsaw, power drill, hedge trimmer, even an egg whisk. Says, so what? You can stick the egg whisk attachment on the end and you can like whip up a Spanish omelet. He says, I certainly can, sir, but it's amazing how few people are prepared to eat them. So there we go. Anyway, then he starts going do like, because he says, I must have sucked up a penny. Spits out a coin, and there we go. Anyway, he needs a fresh bag. Anyway, as he leaves, the cat joins and he's like, oh, it smells good. What is it? Oh, it's me. Love this aftershave. He says, you are 5 minutes. Lister says, you're 5 minutes away from the greatest meal of your life. Set your taste buds on DEFCON 3. Interesting that they still have that in the 23rd century. And now, of course, as a result, 3 million years later. And so anyway, he's made all of this like a nice laid out table for him and the cat using various different pieces of equipment from the science lab.
And Cat's very quick. The first thing he knows is he goes in this whole thing about the scalpel.
Am I supposed to cut my food with a scalpel? Something that's been inside someone's guts. He says it's all been cleaned, it's all been washed, it's clean. He goes, something that long ago in history may well have performed a certain popular Jewish operation. I'm supposed to eat with this. So there we go. Anyway, he's not very happy. Yes, yeah. He gets the onion. He says, "Get the onion salads out of the fridge," and it says embryo refrigeration unit.
Yeah.
He goes, "How many times it's clean? It's clean. It's been cleaned."
And he told, and then he's like, "Where's that?" And he's like, "It's next to the vindaloo in the colostomy bag."
Yeah, that's it. He goes, "No, it's the."
Curry.
He says, "Where's the onion salad?" He goes, "They're in the kidney bowls next to the colostomy bag with the chili sauce in it."
Yeah, chili sauce. That's right.
That's it. Yep. So there you go. You got kidney bowls. He's disgusted. It doesn't matter anyway because here is Lister. He puts in. He puts in just a bowl of contents. Then what comes out immediately? What comes out is a perfectly prepared kebab.
Yeah.
So he's made these kebabs, one for him and one for the cat. And they're going to sit down and eat. And then he gets this giant, like, horse insemination syringe and offers him some lemon juice or cow insemination or something.
Yeah.
He goes, what the hell is that? He goes, it's a syringe. He goes, what kind of syringe? He goes, it's for cows, artificial insemination. It's been washed. It's clean. It's all been sterilized. Do you want lemon juice or what? He goes, he goes, excuse me.
It's an autopsy.
That's it. This isn't a meal. It's an autopsy. That's it. He goes, that's only the starter, man. What about the main course? He goes, hey, you think I got nothing better than to watch you serve chicken chasseur in a stool bucket? And so there we go. He goes, oh, charming. You pull out all the stops, put in a bit of effort, try and make something a little bit of class. And where does it get you? Drinks wine out of a conical flask and says, oh, very cheeky. Don't know where he got wine from, by the way. Like, I have no idea.
Might have asked for it from the machine.
I mean, yeah, but the vending machines are like, I thought at this point, aren't they supposed to be like low on food? Oh no, I suppose not quite yet.
No, I mean, it is able to replicate beer frequently. So
it's not a replicator. It's just got access to the cargo decks.
Yeah, but if it's got access to beer, then there is every possibility they had wine as well.
Anyway, so there we go. Now, while he's doing that, the whoops, that was fast. Fucking hell, that was too fast. I missed it. Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
While we're skipping forward, this isn't wine. This is urine recycle.
Well, that's what they say later. They can recycle urine into water, but not into wine. I know that's like Series 5, Series 6. They start talking about if they drink recycle, isn't it? But I don't know. Anyway, whatever. The basketball bounces down the corridor, and Lister, not remotely concerned as to where a fucking basketball has come from, puts it right on the table where it then rolls onto his plate and transforms into another kebab like the one he had. And you'd think you'd notice, but whatever.
You have two kebabs where you only just had one. But again, it's Lister, so
yeah. Anyway, there's Rimmer, and he's watching family videos of his mom and his brothers and he when they were kids.
Nice.
For some reason, everybody's ginger.
Sausage. Yeah. And there's a great
Say what?
callback here to Better Than Life.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's Rimmer's mom. Crichton comes to see, and he's like, oh, so just watching a few home movies. He goes, there's me. Those are my brothers, John, Frank, and Howard. God, we were close. The 4 Musketeers. Well, actually, they used to call themselves the 3 Musketeers. They always let me be the Queen of Spain. I was the butt of the occasional practical joke, but nothing sinister. And we can see here that
right behind the overlay, they are smearing jam on his face.
On his face, yes. Just like his nightmare in Better Than Life. And the other one has a can that says ants on it that he immediately starts pouring onto Rimmer's face. Little boy Rimmer. So there you go. Just the usual boyhood pranks, apple pied beds, the black eyed telescope. At one time, they even hid a small landmine in my sand pit from my father's gun cabinet. I mean, how were they supposed to know it was going to go off? Marvelous, guys. Why he likes his brothers is beyond me. I used to have a little bit of a relationship like that with my cousins. Like they used to because they had each other and I was an only child. So they kind of used to pick on me a bit. And I just sort of thought it was like good natured ribbing. But looking back, some of it was quite fucking mean spirited, So I can kind of relate to that actually. But nothing like that, of course. That's absurd, but there we go. Then Crichton makes a nice big faux pas. Says, "Oh, who's that? An old girlfriend, Mr. Arnold, sir?" Says, "Hardly. Ah, no, not really your type, I suppose. Silly old trout like that." And he says, "She's my mother." Crichton, of course, is immediately overwhelmed with guilt, but it's motor mouth Crichton.
Mm-hmm.
So as he tries to apologize, he makes it 10 times worse. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir." He says, "Just forget it." He says, "How could I forget, sir? I compared your mother to a foolish, aged, blubbery fish. I said she was a simple-minded, scaly old piscine. I estimated that she was an ugly, lungless marine animal with galloping senility, a putrid, amorphous gill breather with less brains than a mollusk," as he starts to cry. He says, "Forget about it." So... there she is.
Have no fish to embarrass myself further. I'll let myself trout.
That's correct. Yes, that's what happens. Yep. So Crichton does say that, and then immediately starts crying again. And yeah, this is very much like a Stan Laurel kind of thing, where he's like, after as Rimmer tells him to bugger off. Holly pops in and says, "I don't want you to panic on, but it does appear there's a very tiny possibility that there might very well, in all likelihood, possibly be a non-human life form on board." And Rimmer says, "You mean like last time when you got us all worked up and we went scooting off down to the cargo bay, complete with bazookoids and backpacks, and it turned out to be one of Lister's socks?" She says, "I didn't recognize the genetic structure. Biologically speaking, they were a completely new life form. This is absolutely ridiculous. I felt a total goit." That's the first time we've heard him use the word goit since series 1. Says, "I think you should take a butcher's." Says, "Where is it? I lost it. It's somewhere along the habitation decks." Says, "I can't get a moment's peace in this place." So here's another thing I wanted to bring up. Clearly by this point, Rimmer has become just as jaded as Lister. There was a time when if Holly had said there's a non-human life form on board, Rimmer would have jumped with joy.
Right.
Aliens! Exactly. They can give me a body. But Rimmer's not obsessed with becoming like physical again anymore. Now he's just sort of embraced the fact that he's a hologram.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
Which when we get to the tension sheet will also have implications.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. That's like episode 5 or something, isn't it? Or 6?
It's time slides, isn't it?
Yeah, time slides is it's in this series.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the fact that Rimmer is skeptical when she says it is growth again for him as a character. So there's that. Anyway, Lister's there, and Crichton comes back and he says, "Enjoying your meal, sir?" And he says, "It's delicious, Crichton. De-smegging-licious. It's my own recipe, Shami kebab Diablo. It's beautiful, man. Like eating rotten lava, molten lava. I cooked one up for Peterson once, He was in sickbay for a week. He shakes some pepper on the remaining kebab, and as he watches, Crichton cleaning, the kebab riddles and sneezes and leaps off the plate as he starts to poke it with his fork. It leaps off the plate and goes straight for his throat. At which point, Crichton says, what is it? He says, "Do you seriously like them that hot, sir?" He goes, "It's trying to kill me." He goes, "Oh, it's a good one, huh?" I don't know why Crichton is like so sarcastic at this point. It's a bit weird. But anyway, there's a lot of wriggling around, writhing, and it goes over there. Lister chases it and starts smashing everything with a baseball bat. Says, "Are you all right, sir?" He says, "Smeg, it's gone." He goes, what? How can that be? Where could it go? Picks up a pair of boxer shorts from the floor that inexplicably are now there. Doesn't think twice.
I mean, it is Lister. He's probably got clothes strewn about all the time.
I mean, maybe, but why is he not wearing any underwear? Anyway, he puts on these boxers. Well, yeah, they're boxers.
Yeah.
And he goes, and as he walks back, they start stretching, and you see this movement in his crotch as the audience erupts with laughter. And he screams. He goes, "My underpants are shrinking! Oh God, the boxers are alive, man! They're getting smaller!" And he goes, "Help me, please! Help me, please!" And then falls over onto the floor. And Crichton bends over to try and help him. And now we find ourselves in this very compromising situation as Rimmer walks in. And there's Lister seeming to be engaged in some kind of naughty act with Crichton. Finally, just humping Crichton. Fuck's sake. So then they're screaming and screaming, and finally Crichton manages to remove the shorts, and they've actually shrunk to ridiculously small size. And then there's a nice pause, and Rimmer says, "Well, I can't say I'm totally shocked." Says, "You'll bonk anything, won't you, Lister?" He goes, "Crichton, the boxers, where are they?" He says, "I threw them over there." He says, "You sure? There's nothing there." Once again, we can hear the sound of as it's changing.
Yep.
And just then the pillows and the blanket and the snake. Yep. Suddenly there's a snake on his bed, and everyone's freaking out. They're like, "What the smeg is going on?" The snake lands on lands on Lister for a second. Really stupid big rubber snake, but whatever, he manages to throw it into the laundry basket or something, or the trash can or whatever that is. And then he's obviously very worried. He goes, "I hate snakes, man. They freak me out. They are my all-time second worst fear." And then Rimmer says, "What's your first?"
And when we get to see,
he goes, "What's your first?" Hang on, I'll pause it for a second because we played for quite a long time there. "You'll bonk anything, won't you?" Yeah, in the comments. And we've got emojis to go with it. That's what we want. That's how we like it. So, yeah, he says, "They're my second worst fear, guy." Rimmer says, "What's your first?" Bang! Out pops the polymorph in its full menacing true form, complete with spiky scythe arms and a mouth pointing out of a mouth within a mouth. Yeah, there's three mouths. There's big lips. Then there's another snout that comes out of it with huge teeth, and then the like alien xenomorph mouth sucker thing. And the answer, he goes, "What's your first fear?" And then bang, out comes the polymorph, and Lister says, "This." And there it is. Out pops the sucker. Blech, and it grabs Lister and knocks him out cold, and then disappears. So we cut to, and this is where the episode, just from this moment until the very end, it's insane and it's genius, and I love it. So Lister's asleep in the sick bay. Cat's like, "Is he okay?" They're like, "As far as we can tell." It kind of, the polymorph squidged off down the corridor as some sort of squidgy squelchy thing, splodgy squelchy thing. That's it. They ask, "What is it? Some kind of alien?" Holly says, "No, it's from Earth, man-made. I checked out its DNA profile, some kind of genetic experiment that went wrong. Apparently it was an attempt to create the ultimate warrior, a mutant that could change shape to suit its terrain and deceive its enemies. So what did go wrong? It's insane," says Crichton for some reason in that voice. She says it feeds off negative emotions, fear, guilt, anger, paranoia, drains them out of its prey. It's a sort of emotional vampire. It changes shape to provoke a negative emotion. In Lister's case, it took him to the very limit of his terror and then sucked out his fear. So now Lister's got no sense of fear. Precisely, what are we going to do? And then Lister wakes up just literally just wakes up and goes, well, I say let's get out there and twat it. She's just completely fearless now, but not only fearless, like you've got to think like how much of your behavior is governed by these kinds of emotions. Yeah, he's literally got no sense of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like he has no sense at all. He is quite happy to, I think he says later he's going to put a strap a landmine to his head and nut it to death. You know. So there we go. So I always just laugh at that delivery. I can't do it justice. You have to watch the episode, but the way he just goes up and goes, well, I say let's get out there and twat it. You know, like it's really good. Rimmer immediately says, Lister, you're ill. Just relax and leave this to us. He goes, I could have had it in the sleeping quarters, but you saw it. It took me by surprise. He says, it turned into an 8-foot-tall armor-plated alien killing machine. He goes, if it wants a Barney, we'll give it one. One swift knee in the happy sacks, it'll drop like anyone else. He goes, fine. Well, we'll bear that in mind when we're planning our strategy. And Lister's like, I'm going to rip out its windpipe and beat it to death with the tonsil end. He goes, yes, very good. I'm going to stick my fist so far down its gob, it'll be able to pull the label off its underpants. He goes, yes. Crichton injects a sedative into Lister's arm. And Lister turns to Crichton and goes, what's that, pal? You starting trouble? He goes, just a little something to calm you down, sir. He goes, come on then, all of you slags, all together or one at a time. I don't care. It's all the same to me. And then he faints. Fucking brilliant. Just the way come on then, you all of you slags. I just fucking hates every one of them, just ready to go to hell and die for anything for no reason at all. So there we go. And it's brilliant because Lister is not like that at all. Like he's very calm, very pacifist kind of dude usually. So for him to be so irate and angry, it's a really good acting experiment for them, and they all get it. They all get a turn at it in this episode. So not to spoil everything, but I think most people in the chat have seen it by this point. Anyway, so they crack on. I say we've got two options. One, we take it on and kill it. This is Rimmer. Or two, run away. Who's for two? Two sounds pretty good to me, sir. It's always been my lucky number. So, okay, let's load up Starbuck and get out of here. What about Lister, says Holly. I'll just seal the hatch from the inside. He'll be safe there until we're ready to go. She says, remember, it's out there and it could be anything. So there they go. Crichton says, what about the Space Corps Directive? Yay! We've arrived at the first Space Corps Directive of the series. Yay! A Space Corps Directive joke in reverse, because as you'll discover later, John, when we get into the later series, usually what happens is Rimmer quotes a Space Corps Directive, completely misquotes it, or gets the wrong number. Crichton checks his database and corrects him, usually by pointing out that the Space Corps Directive Rimmer has quoted is something truly insane and ludicrous that I won't even try to spoil now because they're hilariously funny. But also, in this one, instead, Crichton's quoting the Space Corps Directive, and Rimmer kind of wins the exchange.
Yeah, but it's also a play off of the Prime Directive, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Was all big with this was right around the time that TNG would have been on starting, and there was so much about the Prime Directive in every episode. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So it says, what about the space, or is this 1989? I think maybe, I don't know, I can't remember, 1990 I think. It says, what about the Space Corps Directive, which states it is our primary overriding duty to contact other life forms, exchange information, and wherever possible, bring them home. And Rimmer says, yes, but you're forgetting about the Rimmer Directive, which states never tangle with anything that's got more teeth than the entire Osmond family. So off they go down to the cargo deck. First time we've seen the cargo deck in Red Dwarf, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is what I meant by
the cat family was down on the cargo deck, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks nothing like it.
It does not look anything like it, no.
No. Now it looks like a cargo deck, you know. So there we go. They get down there. Crichton says, "It's here." Cat says, "Where?" It's somewhere.
Somewhere.
So they have bazookoids, which is basically a mining laser, which also can fire projectiles. And they set it to heat seeker. So then they explain what heat seeker is, but you guys know what that is, so we don't need to do that. Then they get scared by some shadows, and they creep around for a while. And then, oh, that's right. One of them freaks out. Who is it? Rimmer, that's it. He goes, "It's in the shadows. It's in the shadows. There. Cat and Crichton jump out and fire down the corridor. He goes, "Oh, sorry, my fault. False alarm." And now 2 heat-seeking balls of energy are flying around looking for a valid target. Which,
android, hologram, cat.
Yeah, there's only one of them that produces any heat.
Yep.
So although you'd argue really that Crichton must have some kind of fucking engine or something running him.
Yeah,
I
I have stuff to say about that, but that is spoilers for a future series, so I need to keep my gob shut.
As long as you remember it when we get to it, fine.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about that.
Good. That's what we're here to do. Be ruthlessly anal and yet incredibly appreciative at the same time. And by the way,
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
that one was on me. Okay. So there we go. Let's crack on. So they're continuing. The cat realizes now he is going to be chased by 2 balls of heat-seeking energy that are going to chase him around the ship as he attempts to escape them. He jumps over them at one point, dives away, and then I can't remember how he does eventually escape them. Does he?
He gets to a doorway.
Oh, that's right. He traps. Of course, this is important. Yeah, he opens this airlock or whatever it is, and just shuts it. And then says, "So long, guys." Oh no, wait, that's before when he says, "Give me a break." He goes, "You either got it or you ain't. Boys, you ain't even close." So anyway, there we go. Rimmer is shouting for Cat. "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm over here." He says, "Stay put. We'll come and find you." He says, "Keep talking." Cat doesn't believe this. He starts walking around. That's right. And runs into a woman.
Yeah.
Guys, a woman for the first time on Red Dwarf, an actual woman. Wow. And the cat, being a blithering idiot, doesn't get any kind of suspicious at all. She says, "What are you looking for?" He says, "A mutant. It's dangerous. It can turn into anything." She says, "Ooh, sounds pretty scary." And he says, "It is, baby. Believe me." And it's just weird. Like, I mean, obviously he's such an idiot and so governed by horniness that he doesn't suspect a thing. He just immediately accepts this chick, calls her baby, and starts guiding her around. She says, "It must take a really brave sort of guy to do this kind of work." And he goes, "Well, I guess you're right." She goes, "Oh, and smart too. I bet you have to be smart." And he goes, "Smart? Yeah, you definitely have to be smart. Like I say, it can turn into anything. You got to have your wits about you all the time. Don't let up for 1 second or it'll creep out on you with its blip, your dog meat." Goes motions with his head down the corridor. "Come on, babe." And then carry on. She goes, "You're really quite a guy." She says, "Brave, smart, handsome." He goes, "Oh, you think handsome?" She goes, "Oh, come on. You're probably the best looking guy I've ever seen."
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I wasn't going to be the first one to say it." And she says, "Do you know what I'd really like?"
Yeah.
She says, "I'd really like to make love to a guy like you." It's just so, like, imagine if this exchange happened to you in normal life, especially a high danger situation where you are looking for something that could turn into anything, and suddenly a woman that cannot be on the ship appears and starts aggressively flirting with you, but you're too stupid to realize it, even as you're standing around talking about how smart you have to be. Anyway, she says, "I'd really like to make love to a guy like you." And he goes, "Well, I'm sure I have a window in my schedule somewhere. Let's see. What are you doing in, say, 10 seconds time?" And she licks her teeth and says, "Nothing I couldn't cancel." And he says, "Hi, I'm the cat." And she says, "Hi, I'm the genetic mutant." And he goes, "Glad to know you. Jenny who?"
Jenny who?
But it's too late now because there you go. she turns into that, and of course the jaws extend and blip the cat. Rimmer runs up, and Crichton gets there first and goes, "Oh my god, it's got him! Oh my goodness, are you all right?" And Rimmer's there, and he goes, "Is he dead?"
Peeking around the corner.
Yeah, and he goes, "Unconscious, but according to the psi scan, first appearance of the psi scan, says he appears to have lost an emotion." Which emotion? He's lost his vanity. And Rimmer says, "This is your fault, Crichton." He goes, "My fault?" He goes, "We were supposed to stick together, but you let the cat run off alone." He goes, "But it wasn't, I mean," he goes, "he trusted you. Now look at him. Oh, please, I feel so guilty." "Yes, good." His face stretches.
Yeah.
He goes, "Guilty, good." And of course, now he's got the polymorph in disguise as Rimmer, who then gets Crichton. The real Rimmer runs around some corridors and discovers the full standing polymorph, not even trying to disguise itself anymore. Sneaks closer to it and attempts to do a karate chop before it has no reaction. He steps back a bit. Yeah, he goes shoo, shoo, shoo. The polymorph changes into its small initial form, slinks away between some boxes. Rimmer approaches Crichton, says, "Let's just get Lister and get out of here." He goes, "It's got my guilt. I've lost the single emotion which prevents my transgressing the mores, and matters of civilized society." He goes, "Stop it, blithering, Crichton. Come on, grab the cat and let's go." He goes, "Screw you, Hadron Head." So anyway, they get out of there, and we can see the polymorph manages to escape through the tap in the medical bay, and now is back in the medical bay with Lister. So there we go. Groofus says, "Oh, this should be good." Oh, it's good. It's going to get good. And then it gets better. Once Rimmer's joined the ranks, it gets brilliant. Like, it's top tier forever. One of my favorite bits ever. So anyway, they get back. Crichton's being rude, and now they walk into the medical bay to discover Lister is lying down with Rimmer's mum. And Crichton says, "Oh, look, it's Bonehead's mom," which, once again, Bonehead,
Right.
He says, "Mother." She says, "Hello, dear." He says, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, what does it look like, darling?" He kisses Lister. He goes, "Did you just make love to my mother?" He goes, "Yeah," because, of course, it's Lister with no fear. So he says, "Do you want to make something of it?" He goes, "It's not your mother, it's the polymorph," says Holly. But Rimmer is already far too angry. He says, "You've just had my mum." Goes 5 times. He was like a wild stallion. Crichton, of course, remembering what Rimmer said about his mum earlier being very prim and very proper, almost austere, now repeats that back to him and starts laughing. She says, Holly says, "Don't fall for it, Arn. It's trying to make you angry." Rimmer's mother says, "Darling, I wish you could have seen him in action. He was like a set of pistons in an ocean liner engine room." He says, "I think I'm going to be sick." She says, "Don't get angry. That's what it wants." "Lister and mother," says Rimmer. "It's a dream come true." I mean, it manages to get you so worked up with that one emotion that you throw all logic out the window. So you now can't even really be mad at Cat for getting caught because, yeah, he's the dumbest member of the crew. But at the same time, it also totally gets Rimmer, who's probably the smartest one of the crew. Well, maybe it's Lister, actually, but right now, not. So Rimmer should probably be able to work out that his mother is dead.
Yeah, but he's absolutely just seething at the idea of the concept.
The concept of it has driven him over the edge of anger. Yeah. And of course, his mother is now lying there using all this incredibly evocative, descriptive language to describe Lister's sexual prowess. So there we go. Rimmer's mother sits up again and starts talking to him, says, "He's so energetic. I honestly thought my false teeth were going to fall out." Yes, how lovely. She goes, "The positions he bent me into. That sounds enchanting. Well done. And the things this boy can do with Alpha Betty Spaghetti." That's it. And he goes, "Alpha Betty Spaghetti."
That's the one we need as a clip, Will. We really need that.
Alphabet spaghetti, yeah.
Aye.
Probably for the LGBTQ group, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, alphabet spaghetti. So he's obviously furious, and it's far too late
And
now. Brilliant facial expression. So the polymorph has now successfully got everybody from the crew, and they are all lacking an emotion. Cut to, they are now back in the cargo bays. Oh no, it's not in the cargo bays. They're still in the medi bay, I think, or wherever the hell they are.
Cat's comfortable.
That's right. They're sitting there. The cat is now a complete slobby, homeless-looking dude drinking whiskey straight from a brown bag. Holly, he says, sorry, the cat says, "Where is it now?" And he's slurring. And Holly says it's gone back down to the cargo base, sleeping off a 4-course meal of fear, vanity, guilt, and anger. You better get it before it comes back for seconds. Rimmer is now there, and Rimmer has turned into a hippie picnic, with "Give Quiche a Chance" on his t-shirt. He's wearing scout shorts and a wristwatch, and is smoking a pipe. His face sports a goatee and black spectacles, and he speaks with a lot of hand movements, fingers together outstretched like this. This is I love this. This is my favorite scene. One of my favorite scenes of the whole show, because it's just brilliant. Like, Rimmer says, "Look, just because it's an armor-plated alien killing machine that salivates unspeakable slobber doesn't mean it's a bad person. What we've got to do is get it around a table and put together a solution package, perhaps over tea and biscuits." Crichton says, "Look at him. You can't trust his opinion. He's got no anger. He's a total dork." And he says, "Good point, Crichton. Let's take that on board, shall we? David, do you have anything you want to bring to this forum?" And Lister says, "Well, yes, I have actually, Arnold. Why don't we go down to the ammunition stores, get the nuclear warheads, and strap one to my head? I'll knock the smegger to oblivion." And then makes a headbutt motion.
And it's interesting that even back then, the absolute total pussy of the bunch, like directed
Rimmer?
by the episode, Rimmer, yeah, like he's had everything taken out of him.
His anger.
Yeah,
he's now the opposite Lister.
Yeah,
he's
and
complete pussy.
He automatically decides that he's the leader. I mean, I'm reading chat, like Sardot saying, so he basically became a leftist
social worker. Yes, exactly. Yeah, a pre-woke leftist social worker.
Even back then, they knew this.
Yeah,
that you turn into a pussy and you try and make yourself in charge.
Yeah. You turn into a pussy, and suddenly you're up for doing everything by committee and things like that.
Yeah,
you've got no balls. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that these like stereotypes, those of us who were exposed to them,
I mean,
younger ages, could see through the woke
in the
shit.
Early 90s, it became fact in the late 90s.
I mean, I would argue that it's because of stuff like this that many of us had the wherewithal to weather the woke movement and notice it for what it really was, because we've seen these kinds of wankers. Yeah. So fair enough. So anyway, Lister says he wants to nut the smegger to oblivion. Rimmer says, "Right, well, that's very nice, David. Let's put that on the back burner, shall we? Cat, let's have your contribution. Come on." And the cat says, "Don't ask me for my opinion. I'm nobody. Just pretend I'm not here." He says, "That's lovely. Thank you very much." Says, "Moving on a step, and I hope no one thinks that I'm setting myself up as a self-elected chairperson. Just see me as a facilitator." Says, "Crichton, what's your view? Don't be shy." He says, "Well, I think we should send Lister in as a decoy, and while it's busy eating him alive, we should creep up on it unawares and blast it into the stratosphere." And Lister agrees. He says, "Good plan. That's the best plan yet. Let it get knackered eating me to death, and then you guys could just like catch it unawares." So there we go.
Technically a good plan.
Yeah, there we go. And whatever. Rimmer says, "Well, that's certainly an option, David. Yes. But here's my proposal." This is the big. "Let's get tough. The time for talking is over. Call it extreme if you like, but I propose we hit it hard and hit it fast with a major, and I mean major leaflet campaign. That's right. And while it's reeling from that, we follow up with a whisk drive, car boot sales, some street theater, possibly even some benefit concerts. Okay, now that if that's not enough, I'm sorry, it's time for the t-shirts. Wait, was that the... Yeah, here, that's where we are. He goes, it's time for the t-shirts, mutants. He goes, yeah. I'm getting to it.
Really slowly.
It's time for the t-shirts. Mutants out. Chameleonic life forms, no thanks. And if that's not enough, well, I don't know what will be. And Crichton says to him, has anyone ever told you you are a disgusting, pus-filled bubo who has all the wit, charm, and self-possession of an Alsatian dog after a head swap operation? I love it. I love it. Lister has had enough of this bollocks. So he says, listen, you bunch of tats. It's clobbering time. Hits the bat against his head. Says there's a body bag out there with that Scudball's name on it, and I'm doing up the zip. Anyone who gets in my way gets a napalm enema. Griffith's Grim is choking. Yeah. I hope I'm doing it justice. The cat says he thinks everyone's right except him. So just forget he even spoke. And finally, we get back to Rimmer. Now, here we go. Here comes the line of lines. Says, I think we're all beginning to lose sight of the real issue here, which is what are we going to call ourselves? Such a leftist, right? Leftist fucking bullshit, right? It goes, and I think it comes down to a choice between the League Against Salivating Monsters or my own personal preference, which is the Committee for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms and their Rehabilitation into Society. One drawback with that, the abbreviation is clitoris.
So they can all be pussies.
I don't know how I managed to read that without dying.
I said, this is the funniest episode ever. This
Can't
is
hear
why
you. I'm
I
sorry.
said this is
I'm
the
dying.
funniest
I'm
episode ever.
dying. Oh, I'm still dying. It just kills me, man. I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything you said.
I just said so. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I said I really wanted to do this one because it's the funniest episode ever.
Yeah, I know.
This
is
is why it's the funniest episode ever.
I genuinely, the first time I heard that, I came very close to pissing myself laughing. I really did.
Absolutely same.
I was rolling around on the sofa laughing my fucking head off for ages after that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to clip this and then put in like a smash cut to Trump. Well, they just let you grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But isn't it funny the fact that he is acting like such a leftist that he even has to have like a name and a slogan and shit for himself? Yeah. It's cringe, you know.
It's almost like the intelligent people saw this coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, people have long since known that ballless, chinless, left-wing, libtard, socialist dickheads were going to ruin the world. And I mean, even before Blair got in, it was going that way. But the Committee for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms, I'm not going to lie to you, I have that memorized since the day I first saw this and their rehabilitation into society. I can summon that on a whim. But reading it now, finally in character, trying to do an impression almost, oh God, that got me. So it's just so fucking funny. Anyway, Lister says, look, it needs killing, and if that means I have to sacrifice my life in some pointless, stupid way, then all the better. Crichton says, yes, why not? I mean, even if it doesn't work, it'll still be a laugh. So Lister's like, right, let's just cut out all this business and get on with it. Last one alive's a wet ponce. Who's with me? Rimmer says, well, the car stickers aren't ready until Thursday, but sometimes one just has to act spontaneously. People, let's go. And there we go. Oh, my God. The cat says, hey, I'm coming too. Maybe I can bum some money off him. Crichton says, maybe if I hand you guys over, it'll let me go. Move it, suckers. And so we're back to the cargo bay.
Yep.
And now the significantly weakened Red Dwarf crew is trying once again to interact with it. So there we go. Lister jumps in. Where is he? There we go. Jumps in. We got to get this. Bang! Swings the bat around and clunks himself in the nuts. Idiot. Staggers for a bit, begins to walk as others fall in line behind him. Rimmer is holding a sign which reads chameleonic life forms, no thanks. And he's singing love, everybody, peace and love. And all you need is love in the background. Lister's shouting, come on, you chicken. Show us your slobbery chops and we'll blow them off. Crichton's screaming, here, mutant, come get the nice juicy humans. The polymorph is still scuttling around. They arrive at an aisle and he appears right behind them, the gigantic bastard himself. Lister swings his bat, opens the door, and the energy balls zoom out. They duck, and the balls fly over and smash into the polymorph, blowing it to pieces. And suddenly, and all their emotions suddenly come spilling back. Cat says, "Phoo-wee, what am I wearing?" Crichton says, "Oh, how could you ever forgive me, sirs? Naturally, I will commit suicide immediately." Points his bazookoid barrel in his mouth. Lister stops him, says, "Hey, we were all a bit whacked out there." Rimmer says, "You can say that again," looks at his pipe. Cat says, "Come on, let's go clean up. If I don't get into some coordinated evening wear, I'm going to have to resign my post as most handsome guy on the ship." And there you go. And so they walk off. And safe in the knowledge that they're all fine. But of course, at the last minute, as they walk away, we pan around the containment unit to discover that it actually had 2 polymorphs in it. It says content 2, cutback 2, the foursome walking away. There's Lister, and there's another Lister who looks at the camera, gives us a menacing smile, and turns back into another polymorph. Cut to credits, the end.
Indeed.
Total god tier comedy. Unbelievable. I mean, the clitoris line alone is worth it.
Episode they ever made. I really do.
It could well be. It could well be. I do have a very difficult time when we get up to the top echelons of ranking them.
There's a lot of decent arguments to be made, and I may even argue against myself.
That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it this? Is it I'm trying to think now. There's so many. Is it like, I don't know. I like Gunman of the Apocalypse. That one is voted as well.
That was what I was about to mention. They call me the kid.
The Riviera Kid. Yeah, exactly. Or just having a massive punch up in a Western saloon and then clapping your hands and going, marvelous, afterwards, walking up to a bar in a saloon and ordering a dry white wine and Perrier, just all the bits, all the gags.
And then you got buddy Rimmer World as well.
Rimmer World is hilarious too. The Sirens is hilarious. Emo Hawk Polymorph 2 is brilliant as well. There's a second polymorph.
Like the later episodes, the really like banger comedy line tends to come from Crichton.
Yeah, Crichton gets funnier and funnier as it goes on.
It's like, well, I can't hang around. I can't hang
But
around
to get the smeg hammer
all day.
Yeah,
I'd better go and make a start on the ironing.
Yeah. There's another one where he goes, I can't stand around here all day. I've got to get the smeg hammer and loosen Mr. Lister's underwear. This is great. It's fantastic. Rhoda, you didn't have to do this, buddy, but I appreciate it. 5 memberships. 5 gifted memberships, you beauty. Absolutely magnificent. Thank you so much.
You say you don't have to do that. If I thought I had to do it, I wouldn't do it.
Fair enough. I like that. But thank you anyway. There you go. Two episodes back to back that really are probably top tier, like both of them. I don't see that we have any choice but to put them in the top when we do get to the ranking. They're both brilliant in their own way. Next, we have Body Swap, which is, I mean, it's very funny, but it also, it annoys me. It really annoys me, that one, because although it might just be because I like Lister and Rimmer really fucks with Lister in the next episode.
Well, I mean, given the things that have happened, this is kind of balance to a degree, you know?
Yeah.
Because he has, at this point in time, the things that have happened to Rimmer, Lister's kind of becoming a little bit of the heel in the situation. But that will soon be remedied come next week.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's where we're at now. We are indeed, actually, it's more than that, isn't it? Anyway, we are now at the point where we are dealing with real Red Dwarf, real top tier, crazy fucking Red Dwarf. Like the show as it was is gone, and we are deep in the possibilities of sci-fi comedy. And this is the kind of shit you can expect. Glorious. Fucking brilliant. What a great way to spend 3 hours. I know. Obviously, we say it's a review, but I mean, what do you want me to say? It's goated. There's 10 out of 10 as Red Dwarf goes. There's like nothing wrong with Polymorph at all.
Yeah, nothing.
It's perfect.
I mean, I really, I do stand behind Polymorph as my favorite episode. I love some of the later stuff that's more story driven, like in Series 6 and Series 7 and in Series 8.
Oh god, Series 8 has some of the best just gags, like the long salute.
Have a fantastic period.
Yeah, have a fantastic period. That's great. Yeah, that's brilliant. Crity TV is great as well. Man. Just all the psychotic characters that they bring in as well to back up the card.
But it's so foreshadowing as well. Like you know, like with real life, like with men being put in women's prisons because they identify as women
because they don't have a penis. Yeah,
identify. Like, do you know?
I mean, he doesn't identify as a woman. It's just that they can't designate him as a man.
Oh no, he's devastated.
Yeah, he's gutted. He doesn't want to be there.
Get into the male prison because he
doesn't have a penis. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it. Literally. And of course, we still have the episode coming up where Crichton becomes human.
Oh, that is amazing. That's in Series 4, isn't it?
DNA. Yeah, episode 2, I think. Fucking hilarious. We got absolutely loads. There's still, so what I think is Series 3, Series 4, you get kind of like up and down. You get real fucking incredible peaks of laughing, and then somewhere you giggle a bit, you know. And then when it gets to like 5 and 6, you get kind of more of a flat line of standards of comedy. Sardoc Spamfish says menstruation jokes are never funny. Period. Very nice. Very nice. There you go. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, it's the best episode we've watched so far. Yeah, and to be honest, the more now I look at it, Marooned is classic. Great, very, very, very funny. Definitely goated in Red Dwarf on the Pantheon, but Polymorph is even a level above that. It is. I would have said they were both as funny as each other, but having just gone through both of them together and exhaustively, Polymorph wins. Not by much, but it does. You know,
I judge them as quite equal. Like,
so do I usually.
Marooned is amazing because of the story content and the character development.
Yeah.
Polymorph is amazing because of the straight up fucking comedy.
Exactly. So that's why I think most people will
both go straight up. Don't worry about that.
There we go. Noel Kerins is here for €20. Jesus Christ. Hello, mate. Says you sound a bit hoarse. Well, I have been talking for 3 hours straight. And I did SNH earlier, so that's probably why. That falsetto request will come at some point. Yeah, not today. I can do it though. I used to sing. You ever heard? Well, obviously, I can sing tribute. Tenacious D. I can sing Tenacious D quite well. Pretty much all of them. What's the song? Fucking. I Hate Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe. That is my absolute, always, never fails, go-to karaoke song. So I can sing that very easily. And then if I'm really working up to it, I can sometimes do Guns N' Roses, but not always. Not right now.
Mine is Do You Remember the First Time by Pulp.
That's cool. Yeah, that works too. I like glam, like the screamy, wow, yeah, kind of singing, you know. That's what I like to do. Like to get up there and work on the vocal range. Sometimes I can sing Crush 40 songs too, you know, from the Sonic soundtrack.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I used to be a lead singer in a band that actually we never got a record deal, but we did get played on the radio. So like,
nice.
I actually am a proper singer, and same with bass and same with guitar. You know, actually got played on the radio, but never got a record deal.
That sucks.
No, I don't know. This is more fun. I'd much rather be like sitting around here talking about Red Dwarf with you guys. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Fucking love it. Absolutely love it. Having a great time. Such a reward for us after the misery of Doctor Who as well.
Aye.
So it's just great to see it. Great to see it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. Thank you very much, Noel Kerins. You can try to hold me to that some other time when I'm not first thing in the morning and not at the end of a show, you know. But there we go. And thank you very much for that. That is 20 euros. That is some dope hunk
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanahangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bankhanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga nonologangas.
Okay. All right. That is it. That's probably the last super chat. Well, we'll see. But let's get to our outros. Rhoda, what you got?
Well, I'm trying to just like get my shit back together. I've spent the last couple of weeks doing stuff at the day job. You know, like covering for sickness, covering for holidays and all that. So I've not done out on my own channel. I've just about kept up with what I'm supposed to do on Ryan's channel and what I do here. So hopefully next week everything will be go again. I've got at least 3 songs that are nearly ready to launch, and
nice.
Hopefully I will actually do my Mario stream tomorrow and my Tomb Raider stream on Tuesday.
Good.
I've been promising that for a long time, but hopefully it will actually happen this time. But yeah, I mean, things are great because like every extra hour that I do at work, because I'm hourly paid, like gets me a little bit closer to like replacement Steam Deck, which would of course enable me to play my Steam library without killing my computer. So
nice.
You know, ups and downs, but I'm focusing on the ups and I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm great. I've had a good time. I've just been watching one of my favorite shows and talking about it with 2 friends. It's fucking glorious, you know.
Yeah.
Just knackered now. Gotta go to bed. John?
Let's see. Not too much going on. I'm gonna check in with Toasty for today's show, see where we're at with getting everything all set up for that. We've been discussing moving the time back a couple hours, so I can't say exactly when we're going to start today, but just keep your eyes peeled for a post to drop when we do, to let you know, or just go sub to our channel. We'll be there later today, and then throughout the week we're there Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at whatever time we're going to be starting. And then I'm always here with you guys on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays this time of the day. Just got 1 year in on the Week in Culture, which we do on Saturdays. We had a really good conversation yesterday about all sorts of stuff. The least of which was we were talking about the new Metal Gear, and then kind of got into like a whole bunch of stuff about the state of reality and what feminism actually is, and all this kind of weird, crazy shit. So if you want to see like an interesting conversation, go check out yesterday's stream. Otherwise, you can always find us there on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on Honey Badger Arcade's channel. But other than that, though, this was, of course, awesome, fun day today. Everybody in the chat, always a pleasure having you here, hanging out with us while we get to, have a fun time just shooting the shit and hanging out for however many hours of the day we end up taking. With that said, though, safe travels ahead. I'll have a wonderful week going forward. Of course, be awesome as always.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. So that's it for us today. Good times ahead, man. I was laughing my fucking ass off at that clitoris joke. I love it. That's so funny. That'll do for me then. I've got videos to sort out and some stuff I got to take care of tomorrow. Don't know if I'll be live at some point. It's not scheduled for Monday, so usually I'm taking care of family stuff that day. But we'll see how it goes. If I have some spare time, which I almost never do, then I might pop up. So look for me to appear. If I do, say his name and he will appear, like Joe Hendry. So DramaticaLaur 29, thank you very much, and to Sardoc and St. Hugo, John Grant, DramaticaLaur again, fantastically, amazingly brilliant. Iron Man, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. TJAP Steve, Adam Juman, TJAP Steve again, fantastically, amazingly brilliant. A couple more times, some big ones there, thank you. Rhoda, of course, TJAP again, Groofers Grim, TJAP again, Sardoc, fantastically, amazingly brilliant again, Rhoda again, Sardoc again, and Noel Kerins for your very kind donations. Appreciate you guys. It does keep me in business, and that's literally all I need to do. So great, thanks. That's it then. I'll leave you with the credits. Like I said, I'll be back when I'm back. If not before then, Tuesday, usual time for Hyperdrive time. Catch you then. In the meantime, take care, spike your hair, have a great one. See you in hell. Yeah, see you later. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.